everyone, to episode 102 of the Podcast Podcast. I'm your host, Peng, joined by my co-host, Speedy Chief 2,
What it is, what it do, what it be, Caleb Peng.
you know, and what it's not. And what it's not is, there ain't no hot chip today. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, it's true. I'm slacking. I'm the evolution of Vigoroth. I'm slacking.
It's really hard, yeah. Did you, okay, I got a question for you. Did you spend Stardust?
No, I
What's your
haven't done the
Stardust at?
stream yet.
Oh my gosh. Have you started playing GBL?
Yeah,
I have a bet idea for first to veteran, by the way.
I played almost all my sets this past few days.
Oh, dude, I'm behind. I'm still like rank 7 or something because I haven't played I haven't played any this past weekend because I was at Milwaukee.
Mhm.
I tried to, and I was like, I had a few drinks. It was late,
Yeah,
and
adult
I
beverages.
definitely was like playing weird. And for the people that I was beating, damn,
Ouch.
dude, yeah, talk about down bad moments. Yeah,
It feels
I was doing some
personal.
weird stuff. Yeah, but I didn't beat a lot of people. I think I went 1-4 in one of my sets. But luckily, I only needed one win to rank up, so I was okay. But
Yeah,
but
you're probably just confusing them. They're like, what the hell is he doing?
So here's what I was doing. I was playing GBL, and I was also on a call with some of my friends, and we're playing like Gartic phone. You know what that is?
Yes,
It's like
I do.
it's like
It's-
telephone Pictionary. So you have to
it's
draw.
really funny.
You have to draw. So if let's say like if I write a prompt, I'll be like Speedy without a beard. The
Yeah.
next person will get Speedy without a beard, and they have to draw a picture of what they think that is. The person after them gets that picture, and they have to write what they think it is, right? And they might be like, they might just write like, I don't know. They might not realize it's you without beard. They might write like baby face or something based on what they draw, right? And then,
Sure.
then the next person draws a baby face because that's what they're doing. It just goes on and on.
Yeah,
I was doing all that while playing GBL, so I was definitely like doing like not like on top of my game.
Nice.
But no, it's fine.
Dude, Gartic
Anyway,
Phone's really fun. I remember watching Jorginho play it on his streams.
mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Hey, we should do it sometime. Yeah, I play with a couple people, but it'd be fun. Yeah, streaming it could be tricky depending on what kind of content you're adding to the Gartic phone, but
It's true.
I
Yeah,
wasn't streaming with my friends, so
could be a bit tricky. Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, it's good to be with you, man. You just got back.
I did. I literally just got back. Today is Monday. I was in Milwaukee this morning, and now I'm not. So it was good though. It was a fun weekend. We'll talk more about that. Yeah, I will say on my plane ride back, and two actually, I was flying Delta. Shout out to Delta, man. They got John Wick 4 now on the plane. Yeah,
dude, I'm booking a flight right now. I don't care where I'm going.
You are going somewhere though. You flying Delta or you not flying Delta?
I have to go American, unfortunately.
Yeah. Wait, you should go American, or do you just
no?
Go, like,
I usually go Delta, but I didn't have a good flight path, so I had to take like this 6 a.m. American out of my airport.
Well, you just had to wait to watch John Wick another day, then.
Yeah.
But it was good though. It was.
I heard it was the best one.
Really?
That's what I heard. That's what people are saying.
Okay,
it's
so
hard. It's hard to beat the first.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Part of me is also like, either I'm like getting old, or I was just tired, or maybe both. The movie was long. I will put it that way, and the fight scenes were really long. Like
really?
some of them just lasted forever. And honestly, at a certain point, and maybe this was intentional, it started looking a little sloppy. Like they're like, it's like it looks like Keanu Reeves and his character is tired. Like John Wick is tired, but he actually was tired by the end of it because he's literally been fighting for like 20 minutes straight. I'm like,
hell yeah, he's
I'm like tired watching it. Right? I'm like, dude, like when like this literally like a whole like slew of bad guys like nonstop, right? Like, and it's weird because like they have like the suits in John Wick, like you can shoot it with bullets and like it doesn't like it's like bulletproof suits, right?
Yes.
So it's like comical because like they're like squaring off, they're unloading clips on each other and nothing's happening, right? And I'm just and I forgot about the suit thing. If you haven't seen that stuff, it's not much of a spoiler, but I mean. The spoiler is obviously he's still alive in the fourth movie, right? But the suits are bulletproof, or a lot of the good suits are, right? But I'm just like, dude, I was like, what is going on? But but part of me, maybe I'm just getting old. I just don't appreciate fight scenes as much. Because like I remember when I was a kid, Matrix 2, I was like, why are people like crapping on Matrix 2? Like I thought it was great, right? Like the fight scenes are great, but like looking back, I was like, yeah, I mean, maybe there wasn't as much depth to it as the first and third one because it was just a bunch of fight scenes. But
no, dude, honestly, he looked to be getting a bit slow in the third one. at certain times. And it's really intense. How old is he? He's in his 50s.
Does he do his own stunts?
Yes.
He
Yes, he
does?
does.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
then
for the
that
most
makes
part.
sense.
For the
He is
most part.
58.
Dude, he's almost 60. He's almost 60 and he's like literally beating up 20-year-old jacked mercenary, like violent people. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So it's it was good though. I enjoyed it. But I watched it like I had a layover each way too. So
Oh, nice.
it took me until the way back to finish it. But they have
Dude.
that on it, and they also have that new Ant-Man movie. The
Oh,
Quantum.
I watched Quantumania actually
Yeah.
last night.
I have Disney, or I have access to Disney Plus, so I can check it out. That's why I was like, I'll just watch John Wick.
Yeah.
But I heard it was like
Yeah.
the Ant-Man one wasn't as good.
It's okay. I don't want to give any spoilers to anyone who hasn't seen it, but I feel like again, it's just weak writing. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just weak writing.
Dude, I feel like all the Marvel movies have been kind of underwhelming since Endgame. I actually liked Black Panther 2 though. That was very enjoyable.
Oh man, I haven't seen it yet. I heard Guardians 3. I heard Guardians 3 is actually very good.
Is it out in movies or it's been
theaters,
out, right? Oh, okay. Maybe I should check it out.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to theaters since
Black
Panther 2, actually.
But warning label, there is some cruelty towards animals. So if you're definitely sensitive to that, don't go in and watch it or know that going in. I remember actually the announcer from Worlds, Anna, tweeted out, she's hypersensitive to that kind of thing. She tweeted out and said, I wish somebody would have warned me because it was very upsetting.
That's a good disclaimer for sure.
Yeah. Has to do with Rocket's past, right? And he's obviously a modified raccoon. Apparently a lot of the other experiments didn't turn out, and it's pretty messed up.
Dang. That's like one of my friends said she was like, hey, we should check out this documentary. It's called Don't F with Cats, right? I was like, oh, that's gonna be like how cats like are deadly, like they scratch you once, you might like die from some disease they gave you, right? But no, it's about like a serial killer that murders like kittens, right? And I was like not prepared for that.
No.
I know.
No.
It's a real thing though. So yeah, it's from Canada, those Canadians.
Rough.
I'm just kidding. No, it's not.
So what?
But
clip it.
This ain't Twitch. Can't clip me. No, but no, it was some Canadian serial killer though, and he was killing cats. It was pretty bad. I was like, yeah, that's not what I thought it was going to be, but it was actually a pretty interesting documentary. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
check it out. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, well, we talked about a bunch of nothing here, but here we go. Let's talk about the questions from episode 100 and episode 101, and we'll be caught up on all the questions. Actually, I see it. There's a Squirrel Trapper comment already. Yeah, let's start from the top though. But all
right,
John Murray just says Z with that celebration emoji, which
party popper.
Party popper. Yes, exactly. Toshi Suzuki says, congrats on crossing the Hundo milestone. Here's to many more episodes.
Let's go, Toshi.
Yes. Hopefully, I don't know if Toshi Suzuki was at the Torino regionals. Okay, so I actually have a question. Is it Torino or Turin? I've seen both. I've seen both too. Is Turin maybe is like the more like Italian pronunciation or terminology or spelling maybe?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to lean more towards that unless someone says otherwise. But Torino is like what it says on like Arcanine and like a lot of other official English sources, but it's not an English city, right? So
yeah, I noticed on the challenge bracket it also says Turin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and a lot of people tweeting about it say Turin, right? So yes. I want to be as I want to say like I'm not saying the Torino is inaccurate, but I just want to be
Well, honestly,
I want to say what's preferred.
So here's the thing, right? As Americans, the rest of the world just generally assumes that we're ignorant and we don't put in the effort to learn this kind of stuff. So it's the same principle when we went to Melbourne and we tried to call it more like Melbourne. We're trying to at least be respectful.
Like, you guys are overdoing it.
yeah. We're trying to be.
Butters that guy in my head. He was like Melbourne. He's like he really emphasized it. So I was just like, all right. I was like,
yeah. But we always just want to respect where we go, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we try to be accurate.
Yeah, even like player like pronunciation names, like Kimmy. I think like a lot of people say Kimmy Sui, but it's actually Kimmy Sui, right? Because Butters, Butters, I think asked him specifically at Fort Wayne about it. It's Kimmy Sui. So I was like, I'd always like err on pronouncing how it should be pronounced or how they want it to be pronounced. Right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. P. Sotes says, I've been with y'all for 100 episodes, and I'm so appreciative for the information and the entertainment. Thanks for bringing Z back for this one. first ballot Pokemon Go Hall of Famers. I love it. I love it.
True.
Yeah. One day when we're old, we'll look back on this moment and be like, man, we played this game when it came out. Some people weren't even born when this game came out.
Shut up, dude.
That's true. That's true.
Stop aging us, man.
Okay. We talk about Kimmy Sweet, right? Okay. So Kimmy Sweet actually turned 15, right? We'll talk more about Kimmy Sweet later. He recently did quite well in Milwaukee. His birthday was this past Sunday, right? 15 years old. Pokemon Go came out in the summer of 2016.
So, Kimmy was born in like 2008?
I guess so, right? Wait, so what was that? That was 7 years ago, right? So the game came out when he was 8 years old. That's wild.
Jeez.
Barely 8, right? Just turned 8.
Oh God,
he's closer to 7. No, he's no. Actually, no. My math's off. No, he's 8.
Yeah,
but
it was raining today, and my knees ached, and now I know why. Because I'm getting old. I'm just kidding. My knees didn't ache, but it did rain. Have you ever heard that? Tell me you've heard that.
No, I have. I'm laughing because you're like acting like you have a knee pain, but there was no pain. It's just like regular weather. Like
that was a joke inside of a pun. So
this is the evolution of the dad joke.
A joke inside of a metaphor.
Yeah, Alex Baker. Yeah, we love your metaphors. Alex, see, I had to understand the metaphor to understand the joke within the metaphor, right?
Jesus. Yeah,
you're going 2 steps above my understanding here. Yeah, you're speaking 2 different languages at this point. Alex Baker says, congrats on the century mark and glad to hear from Zionic again. I also want to comment that for the first time in a couple years, I finally, for a brief stint, got back on the GBL leaderboard again for the first time in a couple of years. Alex Potato Baker is my handle. Yo, congrats, Alex. Wait, so
let's go.
Wait, so he's not just a baker, he's a potato baker. I like that.
That's true. He makes French fries.
Yeah. I know there are a lot of warranted criticisms to mention about the game, but I will say that it is amazing to see how competitive and talented GBL participants have become over time. I'm proud to have battled against many skilled trainers this past season and look forward to the eventual episode 150, 200, and so on. Thank you so much, Alex, and congrats on the GBL leaderboard as well. And absolutely right there, too. I think GBL coming out and people playing PvP for so many years, like people are just so good. I'm watching like these regionals, right? I'll speak specifically to Milwaukee against Cassian, so I had like a closer eye to it. I'm watching like the losers finals, the grand finals. I'm just like, dude, like anyone can win worlds. Like it's not like the skill, like the skill difference is so small. And because of that, there's so much room for other people to outplay others, right? I'm watching Bulk get 3-0'd in the first bracket reset, and he goes back and goes 3-1, right? Like, it's just like, you look like, oh, there's no way he comes back from this, but he makes, like, such minor adjustments and, like, makes cleaner plays, right? And Kimmy Sweet just, like, he's not perfect, right? He plays really well, but, like, even he's going to make some misplays, right? But he's playing perfectly in the first set. He makes a few misplays, and, like, Bulk capitalize on it. It's just, like, it's just wild, because it's, like, these are just 2 people out of so many that are going to Worlds. So Snots as well. I thought Snots played really well. I thought he came back from some pretty impossible matches in a couple of them, right? I think one specific one against Ryan Swag, he played really well.
But just imagine like Rise versus Kimmy Sui in Worlds, or
Rise went 2-2 in this tournament, right?
Yeah,
he lost the first one, right?
Imagine like Dunebug versus Bird Power. Worlds is going to be unimaginable.
And people wonder why I say I'd rather commentate than play. Do you think I want to fly all the way there just to go 0-2 if I had the chance to commentate? Heck no.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I was disappointed myself when I didn't do well at Hartford, right? And I didn't do poorly. I got to the winners and losers finals, but like for me, like I felt bad about it. But like, dude, at Worlds, like I'm gonna do way worse than that for sure, right?
I don't know, dude. Like you said, anyone who's qualified could win it.
That's true. You know what it is? I didn't bring Bastion on.
Dude.
You know what? Fresno's coming up.
Oh.
And you know what's looking good in a Medicham Registeel meta, right? That Bastion, baby.
if any of our competitors are listening at Fresno, do you know what to prep for? Bring your Basti counters.
Dude, no one has to prep for it. Medicham's on every team.
True.
It's like, oh, I accidentally have the hardest counter Bastion on.
Dude, exactly.
It's like the moment you type your name on the registration, you already have a Bastion counter, So who is Josh says Zionic was the first YouTuber subscribed to regarding PvP and haven't looked back since. I'm with Zionic on the basic avatar cosmetics. Pretty basic stuff in that segment of Fortnite didn't patch its game in 9 months and it's in that segment if Fortnite didn't patch its game in 9 months and players would be glitch invisible, would they even have a brand? Answers on a postcard, please, and send it to John Hagee, CEO of Niantic. Your answers on how to run a business and patch a game with basic requirements. His response is, I see your concerns and questions about our game will be taken into consideration on our next Dev Diaries. Dust rolling. On a side note, have you seen our new shiny web store that no one asked for very minimal extra content? Yeah, I will say, yeah, so the new web store, I think I had it in our agenda last week, but I took it off because we had other stuff to talk about. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think people are working. I mean, yeah, that took resources to make and stuff. I think that's just long term going to save Niantic money because they have to give a portion of the money to the Apple Store, right? When you buy like stuff. So if you buy it straight from their website, they don't have to give that portion to the Apple Store, which means they save. Which is why you get some extra coins, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like,
Well,
they're
okay,
double changing.
I won't say the person's name, but one of our colleagues pointed that out. They're like, "Oh, this is a clever way to get around those
Uh-huh.
iOS fees and those Google Play fees."
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. No, I mean, I don't know. Like the comment said, nobody asked for it. It's here. You can use it if you want to. Do I think it's clever on the company from the company to install this kind of method? Yeah, I think it's pretty clever. Does it bother me? Not necessarily. I just think it's kind of cheeky, you know?
I mean,
Like
they
you'll
gotta
see
make up
somebody
the cost difference for losing out on all those remote raids, man.
it's like you see somebody order like double cheese on their pizza and you're like, I wouldn't do that, but I see what you're going for and it's fine. Doesn't bother me, right? Okay.
Double cheese on a pizza? I don't even know what that
Dude,
is. I've
dude.
never seen
See?
that.
Dude, finally we agree on something. So, get a timestamp and let's put like a handshake emoji over this. We agree on
Yeah, yeah.
something.
The next time will be in the episode 200s.
Yeah,
DeFi
exactly.
says, so good to see Zygon here. He's my original PvP coach. I hope I get to meet him in person someday. Hearing about him possibly leaving the Pokemon Go space was hard to hear, but it makes sense. Family comes first. Here's hoping for a substantial PvP update. This was 11 days ago, right? Because, again, we're covering comments from 2 episodes ago. So we had a decent amount of updates, actually. I will say that, but we'll talk more about
Yeah.
that on how it impacted regionals. But yeah, great to also commentate with DeFi this past weekend as well in Milwaukee. Chad Cameron says, "Man, this cast uh took harsh turn around the 1 hour mark." Yeah, that's probably when we were more
I
critical of
commented,
Niantic.
I said it got really crappy. This is
I see.
episode 100. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Wait. What do you mean it got crappy?
We
Oh,
were
you
all
commented
telling our
on that comment
stories.
or something? Wait,
Yeah,
what?
I replied to Chad's post just now.
Oh.
Just now.
Gotcha. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I forgot. Yeah, we're telling our poop stories and our vomit stories.
Yeah,
Dude, it was
exactly.
weird. I don't know if this happened to anyone else. I was listening to that episode back when I was like driving from a friend's place, and it was like in the middle of my story, like in the beginning of my like vomit poop
Uh
story. All of a sudden, it cuts to like almost like 30, 40 minutes into the future, and it's your voice and you're talking about your story or recapping your story. It's like after both you and Zion tell your stories.
did they edit you out?
No. Did they? I'm the one that like publishes the stuff, right? So and
It was
edit the
they.
stuff. So I was confused. I was like, crap, like did I mess up the crap? But did I mess up the editing, right? And it was weird because not only did it go up like 40 minutes, we were all speaking at 1.5 speed.
What?
It was so weird. I should have screen recorded it, right? It was really late at night, but I was not delusional. Like I legit like rewind it. And so what I did was I immediately went home. I was like, damn. I was like, I need to check to see if the YouTube version looked fine. I went on Spotify on my computer and it sounded fine, but on my phone it sounded really funky.
That's
It
bizarre.
was it was fixed by the next day. It was super weird though. All of a sudden, like I'm talking, I was like, you're laughing at like a higher pitched tone. I'm like, what is going on here? I was like,
Let's go.
yeah, I was like, did we lose all this content? I wish I. No one even knows what the heck I'm talking about because no one else experienced this. If you experienced it yourself, please let me know. Right? It's probably the mobile Spotify version at the very latest. I don't know what happened, but like I literally went back to it and it was like gone. It was like I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Weird, dude. Weird things are happening.
dude. I mean, it was late at night, but I swear I heard it all. Squirrel Trapper, our
Oh
biggest
man,
fan,
here we go.
says those 40K viewers weren't organic viewers, you idiot. The vast majority who were there were only there to obtain the in-game code and had zero interest in PvP. Well,
Dude,
we gotta take Squirrel Trapper on
let
his word, right? He knows the vast majority of people and why they're there for it, right? He's
dude.
well connected. He knows everyone.
Also, starting off the comment with the name calling, we've reached a new level with Squirrel Trapper, right? We're gonna get you dumbass, you buffoon, you absolute,
I know.
nerd. We're gonna get all kinds of words coming up here soon. When you start the name calling, you've already lost the argument, Squirrel Trapper, but teach their own, my friend. 40K viewers. Yeah, I
40K
mean,
concurrent viewers, Scroll Trapper. In
it's
total,
true.
they're way more than 40. Let's not forget all the other people that are there for the codes too, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Scroll Trapper, for one, providing the content, and two, for writing in good, correct grammar. Makes my life a lot easier reading the comments. And
Yeah.
keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Sometimes I wonder. I actually don't wonder this. I know this. I know that Squirrel Trapper lives in their own world, and it's like when you watch any other FPS stream, like you watch a Call of Duty stream, right?
Yeah.
And their Twitch drops. There are always people in those streams that say, "Has it been an hour yet? I want my digital hex camo for my new rifle." Right? Like people just kind of wait it out. They get their stuff and then
Mhm.
they go. I mean, that's not like a foreign concept to a video game stream. It's
Yeah.
just I want to go to visit Squirrel Trapper Land. That's what I want. That's where I want to go. I want
Yeah.
to see what that's like.
Dude, Scroll Trapper, let us know. Like, just tell us where you live and whatever, and we'll send you a Scroll Trapper shirt for free when it comes out.
There
Right?
it is.
Don't
There
write
it
it.
is.
Don't write your address publicly. Right? We don't want all your biggest fans to also find out where you live. Right? Just shoot me a message on Twitter or something. I got you. Or make a PO box. Or maybe just mark a tree somewhere in the neighborhood and I'll drop it right there.
Market
Right?
tree.
Yeah. I'll put the shirt right next to your scroll trap.
I love it. I love it.
Actually, okay. So speaking of the 40K viewers thing and whatever, right? And because
Sure.
Score Trapper made the an analogy to like League of Legends or Dota and stuff, right? They got more viewers. I don't want to go too much in this, but you should look into this. It's really, really fascinating stuff. Actually,
Okay.
if what's his name? Dude, why am I blanking? He used to be the biggest Twitch streamer, and he went to YouTube.
Oh,
Because of
I know who
L,
you're
I think.
talking about.
Dude,
It's
I
not
literally was just watching his video. Ludwig.
it's not Ludwig. It's like it's not Logan, it's
Yeah,
Ludwig.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know how he has this thing called Mogul Mail?
Yes.
So he has a YouTube channel. He like covers like different events or stuff, especially in like esports or streaming and stuff. So his
Sure.
recent one was actually really interesting because it covers the huge issues within League of Legends and how like, especially in North America, like the North America teams are just
Mm,
like really bad in general, and any good player they just like import. But there's like all these issues, and like there's like players walking out and like essentially like striking and not playing in this biggest
what?
tournament, like the tournament leading up to it. I'll send you like it's super interesting, right? But they had a huge viewership for Worlds, but apparently like a lot of their like monthly tournaments or their qualified tournaments are not getting much viewership, especially the North America ones.
Hmm.
Score Trapper, it's esports it's not as
Hey,
cut and dry as you think, man. But I mean, I've been getting more into League of Legends recently, so I've been like trying to follow along with some of the stuff too. But
let's say, dude, be careful. You might shatter a very, very fragile world if you challenge what the trapper believes. You might send him into an existential crisis. What
yeah,
do you mean the American viewership is low?
it's not
You
just
gotta
about America though. Remember what Score Trapper said? We got broaden our horizon here.
It's
Yeah,
true. Have an
uh,
open mind.
yeah, open mind. Anyway, that's enough about the squirrel. Jim Jammer says the childhood stories had me dying. Nice to see you in Hartford, Speedy. It was some tough competition, but a lot of fun. Hartford itself was not what I expected. A place that is so built up yet so empty was a different experience. Yes,
Oh yes.
but who knew a pizza place that couldn't serve pizza that day would turn out all right? Was quite the community gathering there. Well past 10:30 p.m. Nice.
Hey,
Um, yeah. Okay, I
it
will
was an
say
interesting time.
Connecticut food in general is like pretty underwhelming. Here's my hot take as someone that grew up in Connecticut as well, right? I also went back for some pizza too, right, in New Haven, Connecticut. I think the pizza's not bad,
Mhm.
but it's like world famous pizza, right? I think the
Yeah.
pizza is known to be good or like world famous in Connecticut because the rest of the food in Connecticut is so bland. That's normal, such
Right?
underwhelming.
It's like above the median, anything stands out, you know?
Exactly. Like I thought the pizza I had at Portland with Butters and his wife was like better. That pizza place was
Oh,
actually pretty
okay.
fire. Yeah, it was great.
Nice.
It was great. Um, I mean, it wasn't bad though. But anyway, hey, again, I grew up in Connecticut, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Hartford was
Yeah.
it was a little. There weren't too many places to go, but it's Connecticut. That's why I personally was shocked that it was our biggest like North
Oh,
America
yeah,
tournament
yeah.
until the Mexico City qualifier one was
Yes.
happening. But
Yeah, it's awesome to meet you as well, Jim. Yeah, fun times.
yeah. James B. This is actually Jimbo Spice too. Who
Let's go.
you might remember from being at
Uh-huh.
Hartford as well. Congrats on the huge milestone. Glad Diana could join to celebrate. It was a pleasure meeting you both in Hartford. Couple questions for you both. What unreleased Pokemon are you most looking forward to? And the second question, well, let's answer the first one first. I already know mine.
Sure.
I'm gonna go with Aegislash.
Oh, yes.
But I
Psychic
heard it's like,
Steel, correct?
oh, is it Psychic? Yeah, I think it's Psychic
I believe
still.
it's Psychic Steel.
Yeah,
Or
I
is it
think
Ghost Steel?
no. Actually, I don't know. I
Oh,
play in
I'm sorry.
Pokemon Unite though.
Excuse me. I know everyone's going to tear me apart. It's Ghost Steel. My apologies.
Oh no, you're fine. It's okay. It's not released yet. We don't know. We're boomers. We don't know
We're,
this stuff. We don't know the
exactly.
new stuff. Yeah, I just know it used to be really strong in Pokemon Unite. I played it a lot, but I heard the move set and the stats were pretty busted for Pokemon Go too.
It is busted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually having a conversation with House Stark about 3 Pokemon that could change up the meta because right now it's a very Medicham Lantern meta.
Mm-hmm.
I would love everyone to, like, at this point, if you're watching on the YouTube, to post in the comments which 3 you think they are. 3 unreleased Pokemon that could do it, but I'll tell you in 5 seconds. So go ahead and like pause, write out your answers, and I'll tell you in a few seconds. But one of the things that came up, pause,
Wait, you don't.
was
Well, they're
actually
pausing. Why do you have to? Why do you have to pause when they're pausing?
just because I kept talking, I wanted them anyway.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Anyway, one of them that came up
Cracking me up.
was Aegislash.
Uh
Was
huh.
Aegislash. The other 2 that Stark mentioned were actually Tinkaton and Clodsire. Clodsire being Poison Ground, Tinkaton being Steel Fairy. Those 3 Pokemon with their unique typings can actually do something against Medicham and Lantern at the same time, which could break up that
Mm.
duo even more, which would be cool.
Clotsar is interesting. Poison Ground, right? It's like a Nidoqueen. I mean,
Mm.
honestly, Nidoqueen was great until they nerfed it, right? I thought Nidoqueen was fine for
Yeah.
that, but with the nerf, I don't know. Honestly, I really miss season 1 meta. like the
I
like,
do and I don't. Dude, it
but
was it
there's so
was
much play though.
true, but it was Walrein Trevenant. Like every single team felt like
Dancing
had those
Rob,
2.
he didn't have Wolverine nor Trevenant.
That's true. I don't think Groudon
Crescent
Hada did
Angels did not
either.
have Trevenant either. Had Venusaur.
Yeah, true. No, I mean, you make a point. You have a fair point.
I mean, I think that meta was fine. I personally was never for the Wolverine. I kind of didn't like Nidoqueen, so I was for that nerf, but like I think it was still fine without being nerfed. I never was actually for the Walrein nerf. I was more for
Mm,
like adding additional stuff or buffing certain things. They not
sure,
only nerfed Walrein, they also gave Lantern Surf, right? Like they buffed too many things and nerfed the solid things. Like I think those Pokemon were fine. I think you just need to bring some Pokemon to their level, right? Because they all had checks and balances, right? Araquanid was irrelevant, right? Because just
true,
because of Walrein, right? It was like I mean we don't won with Araquanid on this team. Like what? But that
dude.
was cool. Like you cannot run a Araquanid these days. Snots brought one to Milwaukee, but dude, that kid only played 5 Pokemon. Very impressive, by the way. Like
Basically, basically,
he literally didn't bring a Araquanid once, I think, in a single battle, to my knowledge. None of the
dude.
stream battles for sure. But I
Did you
don't think
see what
any
I?
of the off-stream ones.
You see what I posted in Florida chat yesterday?
What did you post?
So one of our friends, one of our mutual friends, runner up in Fort Wayne, said he replied to somebody's comment on Twitter where somebody said, "Oh, Lantern Medicham, this core is way too strong. If only there was a Pokemon that could break it up."
Oh
And
yeah,
of
yeah,
course, he was talking about Trevenant, right? And like
yeah.
rebuffing Trevenant in some way. And
Uh-huh.
I just posted his
It's
tweet, and
Arrow.
I was like, Arrow, please, because if you remember, everybody historically, Arrow said, "Give Lantern Surf." And now he's like, "Bring back Trevenant."
I think he
It's
also
like,
gave it Volt Switch too.
yeah, yeah. It's just like one bad idea after another. I love Arrow, but just one bad idea after another when it comes to the meta.
Oh, he wanted to bring back the buff? I thought he just meant Trevenant in general. I feel like
It's
Trevenant in
debatable.
general in this meta is way too hard to bring. That guy that got third though in uh Turin or Torino,
Yes.
Jojo, he had a Trevenant on his team, but he didn't bring it. He literally like
Yeah.
I think it was for bench pressure, but like it's not bench pressure if your opponents don't respect and still go ABA, Onion Frank strategy, Medicham, and like Lantern in the back, right? But like honestly, like that strategy looks real good these days, right? Onion Frank strategy because there's no Trevenant. That's the core
Mhm.
breaker for that, right?
Mhm, mhm.
But
Maybe Onion will go to Fresno and he'll qualify. I hope so.
dude, he's gonna be thriving in this meta. He'd be
Uh,
thriving,
so
thriving.
so I know you spent a bit of time on this. My pick is Corvic Knight, which I think Corvic Knight could be really good. It's steel and flying, kind of like Skarmory, but way bulkier.
Is it
It
bulkier in
also,
Great League too? Probably.
I
It's
believe
definitely
so.
bulkier in Ultra League. Dude,
Yeah.
honestly, Skarmory could be good if it didn't have Air Slash.
True.
Dude,
True.
I don't know if it learns wing attack though. Actually, I'd be curious what wing attack even looks like on the animation. Like I blanked because we haven't seen a fire
It
spin Talonflame in so long.
it looked
Dude,
like Steel Wing, because Steel
but
Wing's
the
also 2
animation's still the
turns.
same, it's just a different speed, right?
Yeah, so would Skarmory actually flap its wings for wing attack?
Yeah, no, it probably would look like Steel Wing, you're right, because it's a two-turn move. But this is the thing that threw me off. I thought that all the fast moves looked the same, but just at different rates. Like if you're
Mm,
throwing Metal Claw on a Registeel, it's slower than Lock On, but you're still doing the same like arm
yeah.
motion, right?
But then you see Fire Spin Talonflame and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was watching a friend do GBL this past weekend and she was facing a Fire Spin Talonflame. I was
yep."
like, wait. I was like, I completely forgot because I haven't seen a Fire Spin Talonflame in forever, right? I was like, that thing's like spinning circles, right? I was like, but the Incinerate animation is completely different.
Yep.
I wonder for those out there, I wonder if people know. There's no way everyone knows the real answer because there's so many baby Pokemon. But I wonder if you all know which Pokemon actually has two different fast move animations. I can't think of anything besides Talonflame at the
Mm,
moment. Myself personally, like Mewtwo, Confusion, just a slower Psycho Cut. You
yes.
know,
Volt Switch, Fury Cutter, Galvantula, it's the same, it's just
yeah.
different
Both
pacing.
Switch Thunderbolt Raichu is the same too. It's just way slower.
Yeah,
You're just riding the surfboard slower.
yeah.
It might just be
Even
Talonflame.
even Medicham, Psycho Cut looks the same as Counter.
Does it? I haven't seen a
Yeah.
Psycho Cut mention in forever.
Yeah, he basically, like, just punches out his fist
Yeah.
and the telekinetic wave comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll think about that one. I'm actually not sure.
Yeah. Maybe that's a very unique thing just for Talonflame, which is interesting. It's a cool little like detail, but like I wonder why they did that.
Yeah.
Because like
James,
I
oh,
guess
go ahead.
Incineroar would look really weird if you're flying in a circle, but I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say James had one more point on his question. I want to
Yeah.
make sure we get them both. He
Yeah.
says you both have had a lot of success in the Pokemon Go space, but what did the past version of you, perhaps at college, expect to be doing as a career?
I want to make like
Reality
I actually
TV.
did some YouTube. Huh?
Reality TV.
Well, as a kid, I briefly wanted to be an actor and realized I couldn't do that. But then I want to do
Yeah.
like like director producer of like movies and stuff.
Oh, there you
But
go.
then like I like did some like campus movie fest where it's just like some like movie festivals like on college campus my first and second year of college and like it didn't really go anywhere.
Mhm.
But then later on, I actually started making YouTube videos. I have another YouTube channel. It was a long time ago, back in like 2011. But
Uh-huh.
I made YouTube videos on like gender-based violence and like sexual violence prevention stuff, and it was for like a unpaid internship. I was like, yeah, this is a great like this idea I have, and she's like, well, I'm not paying you anything, but if you want to, I'll support you and make sure the info looks good and everything. Because especially back then, like none of that info was like easily digestible, just a bunch of stats, right? And I was like
Yeah.
shocked. I was like, what the frig? Like these sexual violence rates are like crazy high, right? And
Yeah.
obviously a lot of male privilege coming in here. I did not know about a lot of these things, right? Until like I met like women and queer people that shared a lot of their experiences. Obviously, men could also be sexually assaulted, but definitely at lower rates across the world.
Mhm.
And
Statistically, yeah.
yeah, statistically, yeah. And so I present a lot of stats and like present some of the information like in easier to digest ways, and like had like people on the video share stuff. And yeah, I mean, it went pretty well. Someone from the White House saw it.
Really? Dude,
I know.
it seems
Yeah,
like a very emotionally challenging
it
thing to
was.
talk about.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there was a lot of reasons why I went through that process, which I won't get into. But I
Uh,
definitely learned a lot. over the years when I was doing it. I did that for about like a year or so, and yeah, someone from the Office of Violence Against Women from the White House called my supervisor at the time. I was like, "Hey, did
Really?
you all make this?" She's like, "Yeah, one of my interns made it." He's like, "Oh, okay, great job, whatever." I don't think like Obama was the president at the time. I don't think Obama saw it, but but like someone
Oh,
from the White House saw it. Yeah, so I got some viewership. Um, but
nice.
yeah. Anyway, so afterward, I was like, I'm going to go into public health, and I'm going to make like go into media with public health and nonprofits and stuff. And obviously, I
Mm,
end up graduating with my public health degree, and I end up working for communications at like a public health office, but it just wasn't really what I was looking for.
mhm.
So here I'm doing still media stuff, a little different, but I do
Yeah.
it's not really the cause I started out with, but I do like the fact that we could use our influence and platform to like support different causes and stuff. Like the
Mhm.
like the charity stream that you helped host as well, right? Like on Pranav's. Oh, it wasn't even Pranav's channel. It was Pranav's
It
channel,
was
right?
Pranav's
But
channel,
you all
yeah.
helped a lot with the
Mhm.
production and everything, right? Stuff like that like is
Mhm.
really cool, right? I think that's what I at the end of the day, I think regardless of what I want to do, I want to do something for the betterment of society, and I think using our influence for that at the end of the day is the biggest reward, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree, man. I've always felt like, and maybe it's a generational thing as well. I feel like I've always had kind of an inherent responsibility, like given the privilege that I have
Mhm.
and where I live, I feel like I do need to contribute. Right? There's
Yeah.
definitely that sense of community. So for me, when I went to college, I majored in political science. I got a minor in Russian, and I saw myself working in intelligence. Is essentially what I wanted to do.
Dude,
Um,
I know I joke with you about it, but I always say like, "Yo, Speedy, the politician, man, he really is. He built for
oh
this."
no, no, no. I saw
Send
myself.
Senator
Go ahead.
Speedy. Go ahead.
I always saw myself working in intelligence. I really enjoyed history. I actually started college as a history major. Spent one semester in history and shifted to political science because I wanted to
Mm.
focus more on current events. But I got into yeah, I finished school and I had my bachelor's degree with a minor in Russian, and I learned a lot about contemporary Russia, which is obviously like uh, post fall of the Berlin Wall, post '90s Russia. And I heard all these stories, right? Like, for example, there was an oligarch who was at a diner, and he was doing an interview with the press, and he was just sitting there talking with this person, and apparently somebody didn't want him to talk. So a hitman walked into the diner, shot this oligarch in the head, and walked out. And I don't know, the police got there, but the guy was already gone. It's very much the Wild West in Russia.
Yeah,
And obviously with the current events that are
the
happening as
Wild East
well,
there.
the Wild East,
Uh,
yes. With the current events that are happening there, I think there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. But I basically decided that heck no, I don't want to go into intelligence or field work. So I went into my master's in business administration program instead, and I was like, yeah, I want to do international business because I think that'd be a good transition. But the more I learned about business, the more I gravitated away from major corporations, and I really discovered a love and admiration for startup companies. And I anticipated doing more in startups. Believe it or not, I actually interviewed at Stanford. I was one of two candidates remaining for a role in their university program, developing the curriculum for the entrepreneurship, I guess, major for the university. And unfortunately didn't get the job. That was actually back in 2016, I think, in
it was like
January of
right before the game
16,
dropped.
right before the game dropped. So in an alternate reality, I would have gone to San Francisco that year, and I
Dude,
would
you
have
would
a
have been living
very
Pokemon Go heaven there too.
true. I would have had a very different life, right?
Yeah.
But no, I still want to do something with startups at some point. But to Caleb's point, I do feel a sense of duty. Mine is actually more. It's less to do with people. Mine's more environmental. That's where I feel my calling is.
Yeah.
But
Environmental stuff is important.
yeah, super important.
We should
Well,
be doing stuff for the environment yesterday. Like
well,
like we're
that's the
we're
thing.
already behind.
My whole thought process has always been there are going to be societal shifts and growing pains, like as we come to accept more people or as we debate about certain topics. But if we don't have a place to have those debates, none of it matters.
Mhm.
So we really need to have a solid foundation for not only for us, for like our kids and
Yeah.
future generations. But yeah, not to get too much on a philosophical kick, but I thought that was a really good
I love it.
question, and it's fun to talk about stuff that is outside of Pokemon Go as well, because again, it shows that we have more going on than just Pokemon. Although Although I will say Pokemon occupies like 90% of this brain space. So there's that.
Dude, I'm just thinking too. You're one of two candidates, and if you were the one they chose, you wouldn't be doing this. Like you might be
No.
playing Pokemon Go. Who knows if you got into PB? You might be casually doing a little GBL here or there, right? I can
Yep.
imagine, right? In between your, writing your, you know, like
Or
your syllabus and correcting some projects and stuff, right? Maybe
yeah.
maybe do some raids with some of your students, right? But like you wouldn't be commentating, you wouldn't be engaged, right, to your fiance,
True. Exactly.
right? Like who would I be talking to right now? Like it's why, like if you just think about like just that one course change in your life, and it like everything completely changes because of that. Just
Complete alternate timeline. That's multiverse stuff right there.
true. In a,
I
in
probably
another in another multiverse, you're on your way. You're campaigning for local government. You know.
dude, I probably would have worked for the university for a year or two and then finally come across a startup that I just couldn't pass up and joined one of the startup projects that either my students are working on or somebody in San Francisco was working on. And I think that'd be really exciting. It's probably
Yeah.
what I would have done. Yeah.
Well, you can still move out to California to live out that dream at
Dude,
least.
it's true. It's true. It's expensive, but true.
Dude, don't remind me. Don't remind me. Uh, David Steinstra says, "Hey guys, congrats on 100 episodes. I'm curious what your
Woo.
thoughts are on the sometimes overly abundant events and spawns. I was just in Mexico this last weekend during the Team Rocket / Shadow Raid event and only saw a halucha twice on my nearby, even with the constant incense and lures going. I wasn't able to get one and probably won't until it's released globally during some event. Personally, I think they are too often, and the event spawns take up the entirety of everything spawning. Would you like to see less frequent events or even a cooldown each day where the spawns are less frequent? Just frustrating when you go out and can't enjoy the local spawns or different areas have to offer." Dude, fantastic point, David.
Fantastic.
And I think it's two things. One, I don't mind all the events. Some of them are definitely not as good as others, but I guess the good ones are like not would not be appreciated as much if all of them were that good. But I
Hmm.
think one thing is I think the events can be longer. Dude,
True.
honestly, I'm looking forward to Halloween all the time because Halloween event's like 2 weeks now, which is great, right? If we have a good event, like the Rocket event thing, make it 2 weeks, right? Like if people like it, make the Rocket like more. You could TM away frustration. Why not make that 2 weeks? Why make it like 5 days or less than a week or like sometimes a weekend, right? I'm like just give people more time. What are they going to do? Get like 500 rank one like shadow Vulpixes? Like no, like that's not going to happen, right? Like you'll give
Yeah.
people more time. They don't have to feel time crunch. They could do the events. So I think that's less of what Dave is saying, but that was just my own tangent and thought process. The second thing I think
Mhm.
is they just need to turn up the spawn rates for Halucha. Because here's the thing:
Yes.
when I was in Connecticut and Hartford, there was events going on. I don't know what event. There's always something going on, right? And I was getting Bouffalants all over the place, right? Even at my mom's place where there's no Pokestyles, there's just like home spawns, just Bouffalants spawning
Mhm.
over,
Mhm.
right? And that's regional. And they could do that for Halucha too. I think my guess, I don't know. I don't know the stats on this. Hey, our friends out there in Niantic that are listening, maybe you know. But my guess is that the Halucha spawn rates are much lower than some of the other regional spawn rates, depending on the region, right? I think like
Mm.
what was that?
I
Like
think I
Maractus, wherever. I think it's pretty low spawn rates in Florida too, because I
it's
barely got any there. But
I will say Maractus when there's a non-event that's overriding all the spawns is pretty common. I've
okay,
caught
yeah,
I'd say like 1 in 75, one
yeah.
in 100, something like that. But dude, I think Klefki's pretty rare in France from what
Dude,
I know, from what I
oh,
understand.
only in France?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I haven't been to France, so that's why. I know
But
there's in Europe because I definitely haven't seen a Klefki either.
But dude, people are asking for Holucha trades. Dude, when I was in Mexico City last time visiting
Mhm.
Mariana, literally, dude, I had an event started as soon as I got there. I caught at least 5 of the Holuchas that I've been trading. I caught at least 5 of those from my daily spawn. Not an incense, not a
Mm,
wild spawn, not a research, obviously. My daily spawn at midnight, boom, Holucha.
okay.
5 of them.
That's good and bad, right?
Exactly. Good and
Because you're
bad.
not getting a lot from the wilds.
Because you can't find them anywhere else, but if you get lucky,
Yeah, you get
you
it in
know.
daily spawn. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you were there, so you were there when there wasn't active events, and even then it was pretty rare, right? So
It sucked,
I
man.
just think the Halucha rates are super low, and you need like
Could
XO
be.
one for Ultra League. I mean, luckily it's not super. meta relevant,
Yeah.
but it's nice to have one, right? Especially if you're
Yeah.
there and you're trying to like trade with people.
So here's the thing, David. It's almost like it's this hamster wheel, this forever game thing, right? Where you get like 150. Dude, I'm speaking for myself right here. You want to max out a level 50 Runa Regus and a level 50 Kofa Regus, right? Just because it's fun. And I know the Runa Regus is not good, but it's fun to have, right? Anyway, you know that you need 656 XLs. You play the Halloween event, you go hard, you trade all the mask you get. Whoops, you only have 550. I guess I'm going to play the Halloween event next year. And that's essentially what this is. They give you little tastes, little
Yeah.
samples to keep you coming back to the events year after year
Yeah.
and
I
playing
didn't
the
get a
game.
good Runaricus or Galarian mask for Ultra League, so I'm waiting till
See?
4 months from now.
Same boat.
Same boat. Same boat. I can't believe it's been half a year since the Halloween event. Almost half a year,
Sheesh.
5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. Wild stuff. Oh, that actually reminds me from Jimbo Spice's comment about what unreleased Pokemon you're looking forward to, and you're saying like, yeah, the meta's getting stale. We need something to switch it up, dude. You know what? I wish.
What?
It's like I don't think Master League is possible, but at least Ultra League. I wish Ultra League Pokemon and resources were like more accessible, so that we could just go straight into Ultra League instead. You don't have to worry about Medicham. It's a whole different meta, right? It's how like the main series game go. They have like tier 1 Pokemon, it's year 1, tier 2, and then like tier 3, like year 3 is like
Yeah.
all the megas or all the legendary, mythical, whatever you can use, right? And like that in itself changes the meta significantly. Imagine playing a year without Medicham because you're playing in Ultra League, right? But you just can't do that because they're so expensive to make this stuff. I play Ultra League and factions, and even I struggle sometimes making what I want to make, right? And I've been playing factions Ultra League for like 2+ years, right? Like I spend millions of dust, and I'm always like trading XLs for everything. I'm trading XLs for things I have XLs for. Hey, you never know. I already have a
Yeah.
Ferrothorn made for Ultra League, but Shadow Ferrothorn though, I'm gonna need
I
XLs
know.
for that. Right? I
And
made that mistake with Joltik. I stopped saving them and trading them, and now they have Shadow Joltik. So
but
I'm
dude,
almost back up to 300 XLs for Joltik. Actually, I already have
that's
one
not
made.
that's not even the point though. Like think about how absurd that is for us
Yeah,
to do that, because I'm doing the same
yeah.
thing, right? But how is it absurd? How absurd is it for both of us to have this hallucination that we're going to
Yeah.
get a Hundo Shadow Joltik?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I can't even make one even if I have one.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to get it. Yeah, that's
Like, what are the
yeah.
odds of a Hundo Shadow Joltik?
I haven't even got one that's like 90% IVs. Yeah, but yeah,
Dude, I don't
that
know.
too. Yeah, the accessibility is just crazy. I mean, Shadow Galvantula for Ultra League is maybe not super relevant. You never know. It's the same thing. I'm saving XLs for Skarmory because they come out with a Shadow Skarmory. Wait, no, they already have Shadow Skarmory actually. It's just been
Yeah, they do.
Rockets in a while. Yeah,
Yep.
but getting a Hundo one, what if I get one? Or what if they bump the level one day, right? Because the level 61 rank 1 won't be a
Oh
Hundo.
God,
No, I'm
dude,
telling you, I've been doing it.
that's the
Dude,
forever game,
a Wobbuffet, I have like almost like 700 XLs for it because I'm like, dude, one day you're going to need to power up even more, right?
dude. I,
I'm just preparing for everything now, dude. Actually, speaking of XLs, we'll talk about. Dude, we might need to save the next question for the next
dude,
one for the
you
next
you
event, but
call me a hoarder, but dude,
dude,
you're also hoarding
I
a lot.
think I think I'm gonna wait till this season of regionals is over because Fresno's coming. I'm going to be there, and there's gonna be a bunch of Pampors spawning there.
Yes.
I think I might have the world record for the most amount of Pampor XLs.
What
Yeah,
world record?
yeah.
We need some
Okay,
replies.
remember like last week when we was it last week when we compared Pampor XLs?
Yeah.
Remember what I said I had?
It's like, would you have like twice as many as me, like 1,400 or something?
Something like that. Maybe it was like 1,700. It was like 1,000
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
Look at how much I have now.
Oh my God. Okay.
Dude, I have 2,700 plus Pampor candies. This was a
Dude,
week later. I think I literally might have the world record.
dude, you're farming hard at these regionals, man.
I'm just like, I'm just using the Go Plus and stuff, like, but it's just like, but they're everywhere. Okay, I will say shout out to whoever at Niantic. Hey, you know who you are if you're listening, right? I bet
Yeah.
it's one of you. I bet it because you all listen and you all love PP, right? Otherwise, why the heck are you listening to us? Like you're just like you're no scroll trapper, right? I know you're not hate listening, but shout out if you did this or you know who did this, because at Milwaukee, that place was loaded up on stops. For the first time in my life, I didn't even know what was happening. I was
Dude.
spin capped. I couldn't spin any more
What?
stops.
You got spin? I never been
I got spin capped
spin capped
before I
my
left
whole
the
life.
venue on Saturday. Like like the stream wasn't even over yet. And I was like, I'm out of Pokeballs. Like, what's
It
going on?
sounds
I
like a
can't use my Go
dream.
Plus. I'm out of it seems like until you can't get any Pokeballs. I literally couldn't. Like, I was like opening gifts frantically. I'm like, what's going on? I could catch Pokemon though. I wasn't like soft banned, right? I could catch Pokemon. I could feed gyms. I could do raids. I just couldn't spin. I was literally spin
Dude.
capped. Yeah.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah, dude. But anyway, it's because Milwaukee was loaded with stuff. Please, please, if you're listening, do it for Fresno too, because it's actually Community Day on Saturday. You're casting.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
playing. We need some spawns, man. Hey, I'm saving all my
Please.
save all your spawns too, please, because I need to swap some. I don't have a hundo. Let's like maybe we'll
I,
swap some to get like lucky hundos or something.
the Lundo is the goal. Lundo's the
Yeah,
goal.
Lundo would be goal. Yeah, the Shundo would be great too. I spent all my Shundo like on that Fennekin, but still.
Shundo would be
But
so
well,
freaking
well, we
sick.
can't. It's Saturday too. It's not Sunday. And
I
Saturdays always go later,
know.
right? Sunday
It's
like
the
sometimes you get
long
out early,
day.
right? Yeah, I mean Sunday if our Hartford went long because it was top 16, but Fresno's going to be a top 8 if I were to guess. But
Yeah.
it's Saturday. It's a long day.
Yeah.
I always say
I
like,
s-
oh, maybe if I got knocked out, I can at least pick Community Day. But I
I
know in the
s-
back of my mind I don't want that, right? It was like same thing with
yeah, yeah,
Chessman.
yeah.
I didn't want that. I had like a terrible Chessman, but like for
Yeah.
Great League because I didn't play it because I was competing. But like, no,
Yeah.
yeah. But just
I
hook us up with stops, please, Niantic, please.
I agree with you, David. I honestly feel like a lot of the events, they aren't long enough, and they also kind of like half commit. But I think that's by design. I think
Yeah.
if you played one event and you got literally all the XLs you could ever need, the chances of you playing the next one are pretty low, and therefore that doesn't align with what the company wants, which is for you to keep playing, right?
Yeah.
So, you're not hallucinating. I think we're having the same experience, but I think that experience is by design.
Yeah, and my apologies, David. I definitely went sidetracked there. I mean, I'm talking about my Pampor XLs for some reason all of a sudden, but
Dude,
it's how
we're
it
just
is.
having a good time.
Yeah. We're gonna have to save the next video's questions for another time because we're going
Yeah.
longer this one too. But last comment here, one of our loyal listeners as well, Justin Kim Woo says, "Congratulations, guys! Thanks for having Zionic on for 100. Was a great episode. I agree, Speedy. I don't get teachers slash parents slash people who tell kids to wait when they gotta go. From my experience, kids are absolutely atrocious at knowing when they really need to pee. Dude, I mean, hey, you know me. I thought I could make it to that lunch menu without peeing, but I really couldn't. Right? I don't know how I was going to make it to the bathroom, let alone the lunch menu. And he
Right.
said it's all ones and zeros for them. There's no I'm going to have to go soon. There's only I don't need to go or I have to go right now. So if I say I need to go, I'm immediately stopping whatever I'm doing and finding a
Yeah.
bathroom. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
Yeah, I
anyway,
agree.
thank you all as always for the comments, dude. That was only 12 comments, but we spent like almost an hour.
Those are really good questions.
Anyway,
I always love
they're
interacting with
great.
our listeners, our
They're
community.
great. I love it. I love it. Yeah, and honestly, that was our most viewed episode on YouTube. I didn't check the actual like podcast
Hmm.
downloads, but that was the
Hmm.
most viewed one. So
Yeah,
Zion brings the views, man.
he does.
He's the man. He's the man. Yeah, there's 12 comments for the next one, but we'll cover that next week. So anyway, we had an interesting weekend too. We had 3 different regional slash tournaments.
Dude.
Santiago was in a regional. So was it like a special event or a qualifier
I
maybe?
believe Turin was a special
Oh,
event,
maybe it's
right?
tournament. Well, either way, like regional qualifier, they're tournaments, right? To qualify for worlds, essentially. Like the prize pooling or other stuff might be different, but you get 2 people qualifying for worlds regardless. From
Mhm.
these tournaments, we had one Milwaukee, Turin slash Torino, and
Yep.
Santiago, Chile. Turin's in
Yep.
Italy, by the way, and Milwaukee's in
Yep.
the United States, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I always want to say Milwaukee's in Minnesota because like both M's, but
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
messing me up
Well,
because I'm
you're thinking
Midwest.
what
I'm
you're
thinking about
thinking of is
Minneapolis, right?
Minneapolis. Thank you.
Which
Thank you.
was my layover flight both ways
There
too.
you go.
Yeah,
Go. Double
but
M's.
yeah, no, it was great. The only battles I didn't really get to check out was Santiago because that was happening. All of that happened on Sunday,
Mhm.
um, and we were in production on Sunday too. But and then Turin, it also was over the weekend, but they were a little earlier. So when I woke up and I was getting ready for Sunday, I was able to watch it. And yo, I gotta say, man, let's go a turn first. Congrats
Yes.
to Andres and Paul
Palasha.
Lasha for winning it all. Paul Lasha had an incredible performance too. Actually, shout out to my friend Paul Marcel for giving me the stat line. Paul Lasha went 18-2, which is tied
Ooh.
for, I think she's one of 4 players to be over 90% or higher win rate in a tournament. The other 3 is Rise Cajun, who also went 18-2 at Knoxville. We
And Bug
have
Trapper.
Human Catcher Bug. I forgot the specific stat line, but he also had an incredible run. Like he's like 20 or 22-2, and we had Jakobovic, who only went like 18-1 or something.
Yeah, Human Catcher Bug was 20-2, correct?
Yeah, 20-2. Yeah, and the Jakobovic I think was 18-1 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so not only like a great performance, and that was a big regional. I think they had 143 plus people. They had like a top 16 bracket too. Like, no joke, yo. And Paul Lasha's always been good. I don't know about always been good, but she's been very good at this game for a long time, right? In factions and Sylph, in GBL, she hit the ADL. Oh, dude, I hate facing her ADL because I'm just like
the worst.
No, I'm literally like, she has no check for like my Empoleon or something, and then I'm losing somehow. I'm like, what is going on? I'm losing to a Diggersby with Empoleon. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But or like a Pelipper. Like I'm like, how's this Pelipper taking out Empoleon? But yeah, she was very, very good. And oh, sorry, I forgot to mention I got to put that timestamp before the questions.
No, you're good.
But
what about GBL? I cut you off there.
Oh no, she got number 1 GBO as well.
Number 1
with her team.
leaderboards.
Yeah, number 1 on the leaderboard. So she's done it all. And so I really like specifically the results of turn for 2 different reasons. Paulasha, she was one of the first battles on stream at EUIC. And she was running I think it was running a Powder Snow Psyshock. A Shadow Alone Ninetales, if I'm not mistaken. And it was because she forgot to TM it to Charm. It was supposed to be Charm, and she registered as Charm. So she lost the first game. It just had like a bad matchup. And then they ended it there because they realized that she had the wrong moveset, so she took a game loss. So they literally just ended the stream, ended the battle on stream with after 1, right? I mean, I'm not saying like it's not her fault or anything, but like it's just unfortunate to go out like that, right? We all make mistakes. I've done it myself, right? Like a lot of people have done it. A lot of very talented battlers have done that. It's just an oversight, right? And I think that was her first tournament too, if I'm not mistaken. And so she took early game loss there, and like that tournament was stacked. And I don't know when she got eliminated from like double eliminated, but eventually happened, right? So she didn't do as well as she wanted to. And then Andress also battled on stream, but this is when, and it wasn't the game. It was literally like a venue, like internet issue, right? Venue Wi-Fi issue that they later fixed, right? Out of our control, out of production control, stuff like that. But Andress was facing off against Yo-Yu Yes, one of our judges actually in North America, and they played on stream like 5 or 6 times. They kept having to rematch, right? And then finally they took them off stream, and then she ended up losing. But like that's like incredibly tilting for anyone, and also like I don't remember how it would have shook out. Like if she would have won some of them on stream if she didn't lag, or vice versa, or he didn't lag and stuff like that. But it's just like very unfortunate because then she took an early game 1 loss too and wasn't able to do as well. And I knew that I remember she got to like the winners finals actually against one of my patrons, actually Manning, actually against the winner finals in Stuttgart actually. So that's I think the first time I saw her on a play Pokemon thing. And I remember talking to her at the bar afterward. After that first date, and she was like upset about it too. She was talking about it, and I was like, that's so unfortunate. I was like, I think you're still a great battler though, from all I've seen, and like hopefully you have another chance. She's like, honestly, there's like 1 left is like turn, so we'll see. I probably won't be able to go. Like my boyfriend, what's his name? John Yoa.
Oh yeah.
That's her boyfriend. That one, what's man? I'm blanking out the place. Bokum, I think. He won Bokum. Yeah, Johnny won Bokum. She's like, I'm still going to Japan with my boyfriend because he qualified, but like I would like to qualify too, right? And I was like, well, I was like, well, let's, and she was definitely bummed out. She's like, yeah, she's like, my chances are probably low for turn and stuff like that. I was like, well, you never know, right? And then to see both of them not only do so well, but also to qualify for Worlds, incredible, dude, incredible. And to I believe they're the 3rd and 4th women to qualify actually for this season, which is really cool, behind Enhoff and Burpower. So
so I have my notes in front of me here. John Yoa won Utrecht.
Oh, Utrecht, yeah. Bokum was EJB.
Yeah, and John, you're exactly right. John Yoa actually did something pretty amazing. Forced the bracket reset with a 3-0 of status stand, and then lost the first game, but 3-0 status stand again. So he went 3-1 in the finals reset.
Yeah,
which is pretty awesome. And also,
dude, he was playing reset well too. I didn't really know too much about John Yo beforehand, but I was watching his games, and he was like, it was like it's like you could tell he's like just had that flow state. Like you just like you couldn't stop him, right? Like it's like if I played him, I'd be like, it's like when you're going to war and he's the
Yeah.
guy running in the front, like into the whole army. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like
and
he's
just not
so
getting hit.
yeah. Regardless of that, he's so confident. He doesn't care, right? He know he's going to take
Mhm.
you out. I'm in the
Yep.
back. I'd be I don't for people like back in war. I don't know how they did it. I mean, you're a history major, so maybe you know better. But I'd be on the freaking wall shooting arrows at best, right? Or like loading the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like troubleshoot or like the catapults. Like I want to be in the
Yes,
front lines
sir.
by any means.
Yeah. It's insane. I was actually small tangent here. I was actually watching Saving Private Ryan earlier today. My
I love
I
it.
was
This
watching it.
small tangent. We've been on. This is our 15th
I
tangent.
know, I know, I know. That's why I want to keep it short, but I was watching it and I just can't imagine. I can't imagine what that would be like.
Oh, I'm
It's
thinking about
just
medieval times, but yeah, that too. Yeah, I mean,
either
real
way
way.
it's
Yeah, yeah. War's not good,
yeah.
but that's the image I had of John Yo. But anyway, Andrus
But
and Palasha, incredible
yeah.
stuff.
I think it's amazing, right? I think, and I've always we've actually talked about this before. This has always been my opinion, but a lot of other competitive esports are overwhelmingly male dominated, right? And the
Hmm.
culture is kind of that way. Like when you look at team based games, a lot of the times the players will stand up and like shout and curse at each other. Like if they win a match or something, they like talk smack, right? And it's definitely very like high testosterone, just very
Hmm. Some of the language is
aggressive.
very misogynistic. I will say that
Yes,
too.
that too,
Hmm.
that too, right? It's degrading to say certain things, to your male
Very.
opponents. But Pokemon Go has always had a very unique opportunity because we started off as a community-based game where all the players are equal. And I
Hmm.
think that this is just really important for our game and our community that these female trainers are succeeding. These women battlers are rising to the top because again, in other games, women might not even give these matches a chance. They might not
Hmm.
even try to compete because they're worried about all the toxicity that happens at these events. But Pokemon Go is not like that, and I think that we need to continue to foster and support that growth and that movement because again we have a very unique opportunity as one of the biggest brands in the world, a brand new esport component of that. This is a huge opportunity. We need to do everything we can to make sure that women and female trainers feel accepted at these events. I think
Yep.
that's our number one priority when we look at including more trainers into our community.
Yeah, and you see some like comments, especially on Twitch as well too. Of people say this stuff.
I
I'm like,
just
that's
I just ignore them, dude. People
yeah.
are
It's unfortunate though, because some of these women that are battling, they're like some of these girls and women that are battling want to go back and watch what people said. You know, like they made a cool play, and then they had to see like some of this BS stuff, right? And it's unfortunate, and people just definitely need to be better because no one's ever going to be like, oh, like she got an easy bracket because she faced a guy in the finals, right? Like no one's
true.
ever going to say that, right? But I did see that when I was looking back at the VOD of Milwaukee and Ryan Swag was facing against Little Sparty, and they're like, oh, like he got it easy because he has to face a girl in the finals. I was like, did you not watch what Little Sparty did? Like she was playing incredible, right? She just had no answer to Dene, but like who's going to falter for that? I mean, who freaking brings
Yeah.
the answer to Dene, right? But she
Yeah.
played incredible for the disadvantage she had, and leading up to the winners final, she was playing great, right? If you watch her in the winners semis and even the losers finals,
Yeah.
um,
Dude, people like that are just talking out of their ass, man. Like they
yep,
I know, like I say, just ignore them, and that's kind of impossible because when you do read it, you will see those comments.
yeah.
Like I'll go back and look at videos and see comments on my casting, and it does bother me. So I can't deny
Yeah.
that strangers' feedback doesn't have an impact. But at the
But
same
at least
time,
it's not
for
sexist, right? They're not saying like
yeah,
you
true,
suck
true,
because you're a guy, right? Also,
that's true.
that also doesn't even hold the same meaning in this society because
You're
like
but
being
you're
made
right,
fun for
but you're
being a
right.
guy is like different. Like the power dynamics don't even matter. But
But
yeah,
it's about something that we can't change. It's
hmm,
like when people talk about your appearance, right?
yeah,
If the person can't win the argument, they start attacking the person, right?
hmm,
And that's when you know that they have already lost.
yeah.
That's
It,
that's what people need to remember. And one more thing, for every single little mean comment that you'll read, or mean question, or mean joke, or whatever, there are 1,000 people that are supporting you.
hmm,
So again, like whether you're Andrus or Palasha or Bird Power or Hoff or any other trainer, you just need to remember that it's the vocal minority that's being a jerk,
yeah.
basically.
It says a lot more about the person saying that stuff too than it says about you.
Yes,
So
yes,
it says
it
nothing about
does.
you actually. Like you should just ignore
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, I wish like I think they are getting better, but I do wish the people moderating the streams like are quicker about deleting those comments.
There's work to do in the moderation team.
Yeah, that's okay. We've always provided that feedback, and
Yeah.
they're doing what they can. But
Yeah. And for
uh,
those people that are worried, we Caleb and I and others have given feedback
mhm,
about that. So they're working on it.
yeah. And then we had Milwaukee as well and Santiago. I could speak a little bit on Milwaukee. Maybe you could speak on Santiago because I didn't have the chance to
Sure.
watch that one. But
Sure.
Milwaukee, we had Kimmy Sui. We had a number of world's qualified competitors compete. Kimmy Sui, the only person making the top 8, and he actually came in on the loser side.
Yeah.
But happy belated birthday to him too, because this is his 15th birthday actually on Sunday, which makes me feel
Nice.
freaking old because we're twice his age, more than twice his age.
Stop it.
But also I'm thinking like, what was I doing at 15? Nothing like that, right? I was not accomplishing anything that meaningful, or I was not really good at anything. but anyway, absolutely cracked battler, and he fought his way through the losers bracket, through the losers finals. 3-0's bulk in the first grand finals bracket, and then he loses 1-3 in the reset. But still incredible
Scary.
run, and yeah, very scary. And Bulk winning it all too. Very happy for Bulk as well. We've seen him. Well, he's been in Grasses forever. Like he's on Chicago Stars for factions. He's played in. Um, I think he has played in like I think he's played in just as many bouts as I have. Maybe even one more because he went to Worlds last year. But like,
Yeah.
so he has like not taken a
Consistent.
break, consistent, and like like one of the best like Open Great League players ever as well. He's been playing some other stuff too, but we've seen him at multiple regionals and even NAIC last year. He got top 8, but he just never got Worlds qualified, and
Mm-hmm.
he finally did, which was great. And he played amazingly too. Very very calm demeanor too. Um, but
Yeah.
so
A
he
man of
took it
few
all.
words.
Man, yeah. Yeah, even when he played his teammate King Bar, they just like shook their hands. I was like, whoa. I was like, isn't that like your friend you talk to a lot? You like I would have
Yeah.
been like I would have been smack talking way more if it was my friend, but also like I would have like,
You would have dabbed him
said
up
some
afterwards,
yeah or
like
something.
bring
Yeah.
it in, man.
Yeah. But yeah, King Bar's another great player too. But yeah, they're all in the same bracket, which is wild. And yeah, they came out of the bracket of death for sure. that was
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
bracket had let's see, just off the top of my head, there's other people that I don't even remember. I think it had King Bart, Balk, Kimmy Sui, Rysication, Leo Geo, Enhoff, I think Trent as well,
Mm-hmm.
and a
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
bunch of
Trent.
people. Dude, this is all one bracket. It was crazy. No
Mm-hmm.
surprise that
Mm-hmm.
our 2 winners came from that, but also Snots got 3rd place, and because Kimmy Sui already qualified for Worlds, that invite gets passed down to Snots too. So congratulations,
Yep.
Snots as well. Also a young trainer, but definitely on the rise as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
very
Very
cool to
good.
see, and Kimmy Sui, man, catching Zapkins on
Dude.
GFIS. What is going on?
He's so cracked, dude. And it honestly makes me smile. Whenever I watch trainers like Kimmy Sui, or the other young trainers like me Weedle, I think the future of our game is in great hands because these trainers are so talented.
Yeah, and the future for my PvP career is not in great hands.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Or
the
Bird Power as
Santiago
well. Bird
Bird
Power's
Power,
very
yeah,
young.
I mean, they're all the kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Santiago, yeah. So Santiago was really fun. The stream was a bit limited. It did crash a few times, but the grand finals came on. They were smooth. It was a lot of fun to watch. Actually, a trainer that I know and that Morita Pokemon also knows, Ice Chris, ended up winning. And I remember it was always a joke because the way he spells his username is ICE capital CR number 1 5. So I was like, when I first saw him in my Twitch chat, I was like, oh, it's Ice CR15.
Yeah, because a lot of people
In
put numbers behind their names. Kimmy Sui has
Yeah,
one, Bulk has one.
yeah. But it
You
actually
have
stands for
one.
Ice Chris. I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But Ice Chris was a lot of fun to watch. He played really well. He led his Altaria into a couple of bad matchups
Uh-huh.
uh, in the grand finals, but he ended up winning 3-1. That stream was really fun because they brought in like some community members. You got to interview some people. Like Tali came onto the stream. She's
Hmm.
a Spanish speaking streamer.
Yeah, she made top cut
Who's
in Mexico City too.
Dude, she's actually very good, and she
She
gets
also
legend
went to
every season.
EUIC, right? Yeah,
Yes,
I
she
think I
was
remember
there.
seeing her there. Yeah, that's awesome.
And they also interviewed Swagron, which is probably
Yeah.
the most famous LATAM content creator.
Hmm.
Pedro is really, really cool, down to earth, really fun guy. Um, but yeah, it was really fun. And what really took me by surprise about this one is at the very end when Ice Chris got, I think I actually posted a screenshot on Twitter when he actually got his series clinching victory. Emilio and like two other friends just dogpiled him while he was on camera. They just ran up and they just hugged him. You see Emilio's hair everywhere. They're
Yeah,
just
that's
like cheering.
amazing.
They're like grabbing his face, like, let's go, Chris, let's go. And I just feel like, again, like you see Palasha and all the people clapping for her and Andres, right, in
Mhm,
Turin. You see Ice Chris's opponent just like grinning from ear to ear across the
mhm,
table because he sees the love and the affection, and you see all of his friends there. And then you look at, Balk and everybody in Milwaukee. I mean, this is community. This is
mhm,
people coming together. Like Pokemon Go wants in-person events. They want to build locals. They want to build uh, connectivity and camaraderie between these trainers. This is where you go. The championship series. This is where it's happening. When's the last time there was like a shiny caught at a community day and everybody just like dogpiled their friend? They were like, "Oh, congratulations, you got a
mhm.
shundo or something." It just,
Yeah.
I don't know when that happens, right? But we see it on camera at
Mhm.
these championship series events. I think we need to emphasize and capture those moments.
Yeah, it's like I don't want this to come off in like a bad way,
Oh, it will. I'm just kidding.
especially for those that don't PvP. But it's like, getting the hundo, getting the shiny,
Yeah.
getting whatever you're looking for, right? Like an extra small Pokemon or big Pokemon, like it's exciting, but it's random, right? It's RNG. It's
Hmm.
I mean, you can say sometimes there's skill involved on like if you catch a Pokemon or like if you raid fast enough or whatever. Like there's ways to maximize your efficiency, but for the
Sure.
most part, it's RNG. You could be the most efficient person in the world, have the most catches in the world, and still not get some of the stuff, right? And someone could start the game
Hmm.
tomorrow and get what you've been looking for years, right? It's
Hmm.
RNG, and so it's like if you go to a casino and you see someone win like the slot machine, yeah, everyone can be excited, but it's
Hmm.
luck, right? And it's like there's like it's like a temporary like form of euphoria and then goes
Yes.
away, right? It's like euphoria for a little bit and then goes away. It's hedonistic, right? It's a very temporary thing,
Sure.
right? Whereas again, like I said, I'm not saying like it's a bad thing, right? It's all part of it. You don't think I'm
Hmm.
excited when I get Shundo? I'm very excited, right? But or get like or PVIVs, right? Get a nice PVIV Pokemon, that's great, right? But again, the it doesn't take preparation or work or something, right? To get to that point, you just need to bring
Hmm.
your extra battery pack, stay hydrated, you're good to go, right? Have
Hmm.
fuel in your car if you're driving around. But for PP stuff, like people like train for years, for months, for weeks with sparring partners, with friends, whatever, and there's a lot of coordination that happens. You have to like you really have to travel to certain places too. You don't have to travel a lot for some of these, RNG stuff, but you fly
Hmm.
out there, you might have been up late prepping and stuff, right? Woke
Yeah.
up early to do stuff. You need to like a lot of the things that happen in the game, it's on you, right? You have to make decisions. Of course
Hmm.
you get outplayed, but you can always outplay your opponent too, right? And
Sure.
there's a lot of work that goes behind it. So that feeling of success and those achievements have a lot more that go into it than the joy you get from the other parts of the game, the RNG stuff. Which
Yeah.
is why, like, I don't want to say like it's better or worse, but I'm just saying like there's a lot more. I feel like there's a lot more longer lasting parts of PP because of the time and effort and
Hmm.
relationships you build into it. It's a craft, right? It's a skill,
Hmm.
and it's a hobby. It's a esport. It's a bunch of things, right? Catching
Hmm.
shinies and doing raids will never be an esport because it's RNG, right? There's no sport about it. But it's
Dude.
like it's like comparing like playing slots versus like playing with a soccer team or football team, whatever, right? Like you win a championship there versus you win the slots thing. It's a very different feeling, right?
Dude, and again, like you said, if you win the lottery, that's a singular expression, right? If
Hmm.
you catch a shiny, that's an individual experience. Like that person gets it, right? But when you go to LAIC and you see all the Brazilians cheering for their LNDS teammate or friend that's up on stage, when you go to Hartford and all the NEB, the Northeast Battlers trainers are
Hmm.
cheering for their guy or their girl up on stage,
Yeah.
it feels more like a community effort, right? And like
Hmm.
you said, there's so much buildup, there's so many trials and tensions that you go through. I know a lot of trainers don't want that. They said, I play the game to relax. If I catch a
Yeah.
shiny, I get that shot of dopamine and I'm fine. But a lot of trainers do want more from the game. And I think that these events give you more, like you said, more long term validation and reward for it. It's like input and output, right? You can grind as hard as you want and get unlucky. But
Hmm.
if you grind as hard as you can win championships, right?
Yeah.
It's it. It's not skill capped on getting super lucky,
Mhm.
unless we're talking about Registeel Zap Cannon debuffs, Caleb. I'm sorry. Too soon. Too soon. Too soon.
I need to
Too
redeem
soon.
myself in Fresno, man. No, that's a tough one. I mean,
If
how
you
do I
know, you
redeem
know.
myself? Win first? Like that's kind of hard to go into a tournament with that mentality unless you're like Axon, but I ain't no
Right.
Axon.
Dude, Axon had the car running during his last finals. He's like, I gotta get out of here, man. Let's wrap this up.
No bracket reset.
Woo.
But yeah, I
That's
mean
a
that's a great
skip.
example too, right? Even San Diego,
Yeah.
right? Like winning that or getting second place there and seeing my
Mhm.
friend win, like I was very happy for him. Like I know like how much work he's put into PP over the years, right? Like people that know Ramberto know he's been an OG since he was a teenager, right?
Yep.
He's also very young. I mean, not as young as some of these people, but still very young. He put in a lot of work, and this is his first regional, and like there's a lot that goes into this, and I was super happy for him. I mean, I would have been happy for honestly any opponent for the most part, right? Because
Mhm.
no one wins a regional by luck, right? I know whoever wins regional had to put in work and effort, right? There's no fluke on that.
Yeah.
But it's just there's just so
Dude.
much that goes into it. And as another battler, the amount of time and work that goes into it, right? Um,
Dude, I don't know if I told you this, but I'll say this real quick. So Ramberto actually taught me a lot. I think it was a team-based competition where we were battling, and he did something that, again, this was years ago, and I didn't really fully understand it, but I was
yeah,
like, oh, he taught me, and he didn't even realize he was doing it. Now, what I'm talking about is, essentially with your charge attacks, he was playing Zweilous, and Zweilous has Body Slam, Dark Pulse. Like, obviously, Body Slam is less energy than Dark Pulse. And typically, trainers go in one of two modes. Either one, they build up to enough for a body slam, then they throw it immediately, or two, they go all the way up to dark pulse, and then you have the option to bait or go for the dark pulse.
right.
Now, what Berto did was, again, this seems like ancient history, but for new trainers, this was like a revelation. Essentially, what he did was he overcharged a lot and masked where his energy was throughout the game and threw off body slams at like random increments when I wasn't ready for it or when I wasn't expecting it. And by the end of the game, he had like a whole dark pulse loaded. I had no idea how he even had that stored because he was so good at like getting a couple dragon breaths and switching out or overcharging until the charge move and then doing something
Yeah.
different. He was so good at masking his charge energy.
Mhm.
And I mean, dude, he was like the Kimi Sui of 2019, right? He was like 15
Mhm.
years old, crushing everybody, a young prodigy.
Yeah.
And like you said, to see him succeed, when a player succeeds in the championship series, we all succeed in a way,
Mhm.
right? It's
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Definitely. I mean, it shows that it provides meaning behind all the countless hours you put into it,
Sure.
right? Catching
Mhm.
stuff and whatever. Like there's payoff and it leads to something, right? I mean, obviously it leads to worlds, but it
Mhm.
leads to like the growth of the player and the growth of the sport, right? And other people learning from what they see, right? Maybe
Yeah.
you didn't win San Diego, but you're like, dude, I just watched Berto do some wild stuff. I want to be like him one day, right?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like yeah, like if you don't we'll go with sports references because we didn't really get one today. But
Let's do it.
it's like if you see like MJ or LeBron James win something, right? And you're a kid, you're trying to get into NBA one day, like they're an inspiration to you. You want to be that, right? You learn something
Sure.
from them. You want to be that. It's not like they won, so I lost. No, it's like everyone wins because they are now the role model, or they have gone to a level that you did not perceive before, and they've
Yes.
just elevated. They're elevating everyone's game. It's like Steph Curry actually. Dude, people are
Sure.
shooting threes from like the half, like way beyond the 3-point line, right?
Yes.
Mid-court shots, right? Like full court shot three, maybe not full court shot threes as much, but
I
they're
know
like
what you mean.
way past the 3-point line. People
Way
used to
deep,
just
dude.
sit at their toes on the 3-point line, right, before crossing it and shoot it. But because Steph Curry started doing it, um, I mean, even Damian Lillard as well has been doing it, right? It's just like it
Yep.
changed, it literally revolutionized how people play the game because they look up to them and they're also doing it. They're like, hey, if Steph Curry can shoot it, why can't I, right? And
Yeah.
it just because weird because it's like, where do you guard people at from the like the half court line? No way, right? But
Exactly.
you might have to,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
I think I saw a clip of actually it was like high school. It was like kids like shooting from the 3-point line and then they went back and forth. It was like literally 5 or 6 3-pointers made in a row.
Oh
So
my
like so
gosh.
it's like you're on the other team, you shoot a three, I come out, I go to the other side, I'm a little bit further, I shoot it.
Yeah.
Then you go to like the midcourt line and you shoot one. So I'm gonna like one up you, right? They literally didn't even pass the ball. They just went back and forth. It was crazy. And like the whole tackle was like, yeah, Steph Curry changed the whole game, right?
Yeah.
Change
It's
change the whole generation. But
it's so important for people that are talented and committed to show others what's possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, even playing Community Day with King, right? King was in
Oh
Orlando
yeah.
back at the Orlando Mega. I
Uh-huh.
was like, I have never seen somebody hustle like King did for Community Day, right? And for other people, they're like, yeah, we know King, we know what he does. He's always like that. But those people that are committed, borderline obsessed with the thing with their craft, those are the people that really open up new frontiers for others, right?
Yeah. I tried to keep up King too. I couldn't. I could not.
It's tough, dude. People joined, then they fell off the wagon,
Yeah. I had to
couldn't
stop for
hang
food.
on.
I was like, I need to eat King.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. Anyway, we talked a lot about the recaps and stuff, and hopefully people enjoyed it. If not, oh yeah, and the meta shifted a little bit too. It's
Yeah.
mostly Medicham.
I was a bit sad to not go to Milwaukee because it's a brand new meta. It's been
Yeah.
fun, really, really fun to cast. But at the same time, dude, I was watching Turin, I was watching Santiago, and I was watching Milwaukee.
Dude, you were all over the place.
And then there was also a tournament in Dallas for Halo Infinite that I was watching.
Oh my
So, like,
goodness. Did you
dude,
sleep?
I literally I had four different browsers open on my two monitors, and I was just
Holy
watching
crap.
all the things.
You had at least
Yeah.
like two different languages too going on at the same time.
Exactly.
That's wild. That's wild. But
It's
yeah, the
good.
meta did shift. Honestly, I don't think Alone Sand Slash is as good as we think it is. It's great in GBL, but I think it's actually pretty hard to bring in
Yeah.
Show 6.
Double super effective counters.
It's
It's a
also
bad
like
time.
I think Alone Sand Slash was better when Trevnet was around. You remove one of his biggest targets.
True. Fair, fair.
And, like you have to shield like potential shadow balls. Like yeah, like Drow one's nice, but like the ice punch is and shadow claw damage is still the same against flyers, right? You're a little
Mhm.
better into Lantern, I guess. Lantern and G Fisk.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much the main two. I mean, it's good neutral damage. I'm not saying it's not the buff wasn't meaningful, but
Yeah.
at least from what I saw in Milwaukee, it was not easy to bring Alone Sand Slash.
Dude.
Like it wasn't bad, but it was still like it's just like it takes a lot of shields too.
I was playing Registeel in GBL and I matched up against a Dugong. And for the first time, dude, I had to shield a Dugong with Registeel. What is that? Because of Drill
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah, same. I let the first few go and I shielded Icy Wind.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, dude. I feel your
I
pain.
need to sim that matchup with Bastion. I think Bastion still wins it, but that's no longer a fun matchup for Bastion. Bastion
Nope.
loses to Asosh though,
Especially not
outside
if you're
zeros.
chipped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
the
the
steel
meta definitely
typing
did yeah.
steel typing resists rock. Ice is weak to it, so it's neutral, right?
Yeah. There's less GFIS for sure though. A lot more Registeel, which makes sense because you have much more reliable matchups against Alone Sand Slash, against Water Gun Lantern, and there's no Trevenant, so you're not hard walled by some like Ghost Grass type anymore.
Yep.
And Medicham. Medicham's everywhere, and Medicham has way more play into that than GFIS does.
Yeah.
Dude, Medicham is like literally. I looked into Deoxys Defense. It's not worth it. I think.
Yeah.
I tried it and it's not. And I played against some like in scrims and like it's not as good as it seems.
Yeah.
Kimmy Sweet didn't even bring Deoxys Defense, and he brought Deoxys Defense when it was less good when Trevenant
Yeah,
was
true.
around. So I don't even know
True.
how he made it work back then. But yeah, even he brought Medicham this time.
We could probably honestly, because we're already at like an hour 23. I feel like we could talk a lot about the meta next time. Honestly, though, Caleb, you might agree
Yeah.
with me. You can just stay straight up if you do or not. I think that we'll know more after this upcoming weekend about what the meta really is going to be. Because I think that Milwaukee was an experiment, Turin and Santiago were all experiments. I think Fresno is going to tell us a lot. And then we can have like a discussion going into NAIC, right?
I'll
Does that
share
make
my
sense?
thoughts with Fresno with you next week after my
Okay.
experience. Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
After.
After
Okay.
I can't share my strategies now.
There it
I got my
is.
team ready, but
I would love
stay tuned.
I would love for I would love for everyone to sound off in the comments as well what you think about the meta. I think the big victory, everybody, here I'll kick this off. The big victory, the largest victory that we could have asked for is we did not see a single knocked out wing attack down an entire healthy Trevenant the entire weekend. 3 regionals, we didn't see that one single time, and I'm so grateful because it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to cast. It's so boring, and we already know the game is over when that happens.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
thank
I mean, Lantern and Medi still look better than ever, but at least there's
sure.
way more neutral play into those, right? So
Yeah. Way more neutral play. Medicham can almost beat everything with energy, but it can't beat Sableye. It can't beat Kofagrigus. Like, it's still going to have a tough time against certain
yeah,
things.
I don't think it was not that many people are going to be Configurious, but Spandelicio did though, and I thought his team was great, but he had that Ghost mirror matchup, and it was just like terrible because like or not mirror
It
matchup
just
head to
can't
head
stand
because
up.
Sableye just tore it apart,
Yeah.
right?
It can't
Sableye
stand up.
looking real good though. Speaking of which, I actually finished my Shadow Sableye recently too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fresno appearance?
Dude, dude, you saw how much Pampor candies I get. How much dust you think I got this past weekend, right? A
A
ton.
crap ton.
A crap ton. Yeah.
Yeah.
I maxed out a few T-Tars as well. Like I just had to max stuff out at this point. I should spend my dust, Speedy.
Dude, I know.
All right. So in other news, there is I actually do appreciate this tweet from Niantic. We talked about it last week, I think, but they
Mhm.
said trainers to address an issue where Mewtwo Shadow Raids rewards did not include the rare Candy XL bonus for in-person 5-star raids. You will receive either 10, 20, or 30 rare Candy XL by the end of this week based on how many Mewtwo Shadow raids you completed. Beginning in Hidden Gems, we have ensured that 5-star Shadow raids will have the same chances of awarding rare Candy XL as 5-star raids. We appreciate your understanding. I like the correction there. Obviously, it kind of sucked that we didn't get rare XLs, and
Sure.
maybe you don't get the amount you think you deserve based on how many you raid, but it's something. And I remember specifically too in Michael's video with Zoe Two Dots, he even
Yeah.
said like, yeah, like she asked about rare XLs. Maybe that's a way to incentivize people to raid in person rather than remote. And he said, yeah, he seemed like it seems like most people were still more after legendaries than rare XL, so that's why we haven't made rare XL candy like a huge priority. But I'm like, dude, just make it like that would help so much because it's so inaccessible right now. It's hard to do that many raids, but so inaccessible
Yeah.
to get enough rare XLs in general or XL
Mhm.
candy for legendaries, right? But they're making baby steps there, which is fine, I guess, for that purposes. I gotta say though, reading
Mhm.
this, that line you said you will receive either 10, 20, or 30 rare candy XL. Come on, Niantic. You don't use the Oxford comma? There's no comma between 20 and or. That looks so awkward.
I mean,
I don't know if that's a typo or whoever's writing this doesn't use the Oxford comma. I
I
would honestly
mean,
rather it be a typo than the latter. Because
this is a bit of a cheap shot, dude. But if Niantic's known for anything, they're known for proofreading their blog posts.
again, I hope it is a typo, but part of me thinks that they did proofread it, and the person that tweeted this doesn't use Oxford comma. So if you're out there and you're listening to us and you work for Niantic, go find who tweeted that, and you make sure you educate them on why the Oxford comma is important. That's my ask of you. You know,
Oh, nice,
sometimes it's
nice,
hard to
nice.
call out coworkers when they fall short and stuff, but that comma need to be there, man. I'm just saying. I'm looking through their other tweets to see if they use the Oxford comma, and I haven't found any that like is relevant for that. But I am curious if it's just like whoever's tweeting out is stylistically that's how they like it. But the Oxford comma just makes way more sense, man.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
Anyway, that's what I noticed. But yeah, that's about that for that part, and we have ourselves some June content. So we're just gonna go over this really quickly here
Mhm.
because I mean there's mostly just it's just well we got the lake trios, right? Uxie,
Mhm.
Mesprit, Azelf, which again kind of a feels bad moment because you can't really raid a bunch of these remotely, right? With friends across the ocean or whatever. You can only do 6 each, which is like again how you can make an XL Mesprit or Uxie if you can only do 6 remote raids. You literally can't make them. I mean, luckily they're not relevant for PP or raid purpose or whatever. But like that's just
But
another huge
still,
flaw in the design, right?
yeah.
We are getting Nihilego back though on June 15th to the 29th, and then Heatran from 29th to July 6th. Again, Heatran's not going to be that relevant even with Earth Power, so don't stress over that one in my
Dude,
opinion.
it's my time. I have 2 Hundo Heatran. This
I
is
have
my
I have
moment.
one Hundo Heatran, dude. I have 2 Hundo Kyurums and or Kyurums, whatever, but I haven't made those either. I mean, hey, you go out there and remote raid 6 Heatran a day, Speedy, right?
All right, I'm
I'll even
there.
hop in a raid and send you one and hop out.
I'm going on campfire. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah. Seriously. Shadow raids. We do have shadow raids starting on June 10th. Shadow Articuno will appear in shadow raids during weekends in June.
Sure.
Okay. Well, it
Okay.
is what it is. Wait, well, that's this upcoming weekend, right? So we'll have Shadow
Yeah.
Articuno at Fresno. All right. We could do
Dude, we'll
so.
have Axew and Shadow Articuno in the same weekend.
Mega Swampert too. I finally got enough
Mega
Mega
Swamp.
energy to make a Mega Swampert because I didn't do any because we were at Toronto. Remember during that regional and we didn't have any gyms in our
Remember.
vicinity during the
Yep.
event. Like it was a 3-hour event. I couldn't do any. And I
We've
did
come a
not
long
feel.
way.
I was like, I ain't going to spend no remote raid passes. But Shadow Swamper's back. Finally got one. Mega Sceptile too. Again, I don't have that one as well. June 15th to 29th. And then there's another Mega from June 29th to the 6th. I mean, dude, it's obvious. It's either Blaziken or Tyranitar, right? Like, what else could it really be, right? Like,
Yeah. Well,
we
the
lit.
event is called Shadow Flames, right? Or something like that.
Oh, it is. Oh, dude, why did they have a question marks? Obviously, it's like it's like spawning in the wild is Blastoise, Venusaur, and surprise,
Surprise!
surprise.
The third.
So the whole event is only called Flying Fire Pokemon. Surprise.
Uh,
Anyway, maybe it's not, but it might be T-Char because Tyranitar. I looked at mine and it has the Mega Evolution button already, but it's not even in Mega Raids yet.
yeah. Dark
Um,
Flames, yeah.
Dark Flames. Oh, dark though.
It could be T-Tar, right?
Yeah. What if it's both? What if it's a Blaziken riding a T-Tar? You get
Oh
Mega
my
entry for both.
god!
Dude.
Or a Blaziken with a T-Tar hat.
Yeah.
Or a T-Tar with Blaziken gloves.
But when you Mega Evolve, it won't have it. Yeah, yeah. Blaziken with T-Char teeth, but his mouth is still closed.
I can't wait. New cosmetics. Check the shop.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, so funny. It's gonna be Tyranitar, but it's throwing Fire Blast at every raid. There's the Dark Flames. All right. Anyway, we got a bunch of different events here. We'll see how it goes. June Community Day. I mean, that's the big one, right? Which is gonna be Axew, so that's gonna be cool. And raid hours are just all the legendaries and mythical piece we mentioned earlier. This spotlight hour today, actually. Oh, actually, no, it just. Oh no, today's Monday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, shoot,
dude. I literally checked my calendar. I was like, wait, it's the
I know.
beach
I literally
hour.
was like, it's 7 p.m. I was like, I just missed it. Yeah, it's a beach hour. It's a bunch of crustacean. So if you're two butters, you want to avoid this one because that man's allergic to all shellfish. But crabby, kabuto, corefish, clauncher, crab brawler, all 5 at once. That's an interesting spotlight hour.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but anyway, and then we got Bind and Coast on current go duo, nothing crazy. But yeah, that's it for this month's events. So
yeah,
we'll be you looking forward to some crustacean?
Dude, I'm gonna catch a ton of crabs.
Don't you have a lot of crustacean in Mississippi?
Crawfish, relatively.
Crawfish,
yeah, the
right?
Gulf Coast definitely has a lot of crawfish. Yeah, there's an adult joke in there somewhere about crabs, but we're not gonna go there.
Yeah. If you eat too much and you're allergic, you could die. That's an adult joke.
That's true. But no, it should be fun. I was gonna tell you, dude, I'm finally gonna get serious about my megas because I was thinking about Go Fest coming up, and I was like, you know what? I should start working on my not only my megas but also my primals because
dude,
the
I'm
bonuses.
I'm one away from maxing out my Groudon primal.
See,
I've been working on it.
I need to step it up.
Yeah, I still have a bunch of Groudon NG left. I just don't want to make like a subpar Groudon primal, right? You know how I have like 3 of everything. I have like I'm on my second Beedrill. I have 3 Gyarados, 2
Well, that just means that
Pidgeot.
you don't have to wait for the cooldown. You just go Gary 1, day 2 is Gary 2, day 3 is Gary 3.
Exactly. Or a big event, like a really long event, 16-hour grind, Gary back to back, man.
There you go.
I was telling this to some of my teammates, and my teammate Twastel was like, the amount of Mega Energy it took you to make the second and third one, you could have easily just used without waiting for the cooldown, because the cooldown time is like 7 Mega Energy, whereas I'm spending like hundreds making the second and third one.
Whoops.
Hey, long-term investment though, right? 20 years down the road, it'll catch up to you. No, it'll probably be more than that. Because honestly, how often are you mega evolving like the same mega every single time, right? It doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Often. It's fine. What we're gonna do with all this Mega Gyarados energy anyway, right?
That's true. Dude, if there's ever a Go Battle League Cup where you can Mega Evolve multiple, Caleb Peng's gonna be number 1 on the leaderboards, baby. Triple Mega Gyarados.
Dude, I'm going for the global leaderboard in multiple things. Pampor XL.
I KO'd the second Mega Gyarados.
Yeah, most amount of Mega 3s of Gyarados. Like
there's a third Mega Gyarados.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Big hacks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about that. No, I'm serious though. I really think I have the world record for the most amount of Pampor XLs.
Dude, I want people to sound off.
A lot of people
who beats 2,700.
I mean, Japan has a lot of spawns, but they don't have Pampor spawning there.
Fair.
So maybe some people in like San Francisco or New York might have more. But I'm telling you, I'm at all these regionals, man. I was talking to my friend Auburn, my teammate Auburn. He's a big grinder, but I was like, hey, I was like, Auburn, I got you beat in at least one thing. This is Pampor XLs. He was like, WTF? Like, what is that about?
Yeah, like why?
I'm the Monkey King, baby.
There you go.
All right, so we need to come up with a bet for Legend this season, I think, right? If you want a
Mm,
handicap, I feel bad.
dude.
I know it's gonna hurt your pride to accept it, but you gotta do something, man. You can't. You know,
Dude, you know
like
what?
got the beard shaved off. You're about to be like,
If
drinking some Pepto Bismol. Like,
if I was a smart man, I would just say no bets this season.
but it's a good thing you're not a smart man because you're a politician.
Dang, burn.
Who am I burning there? You or the politicians?
Me. But no. I don't know. I'll think about it. I always feel like I always say I'll think about it, and then I don't think about it. Then we record.
And
Then we're
then I
like, let's
come
think
up with
about it during
something.
the recording, and the people are like, "Oh my god, what are they talking about? This has
I
been like
yeah.
3 minutes of them just deliberating."
I got something for the veteran bet. This is
Oh,
actually my patrons recommended when I was streaming to them, and
oh,
it's the first person to hit veteran, the other person for the next time there's a Great League rotation around. For a full day, you have to play a team of Breloom, Zapcan. Breloom got C-Bomb buff, right? Breloom, Zapcan, and Probopass. You can run whatever fast move. And what was the third? Let's just say Emolga.
what? Yeah, what's the name of this team? Is there like a
Oh, no,
clever
it was something with liquidation, I think. How
like
about
why does
this?
this exist?
How about this?
Oh, because they're the
Okay.
worst things to get buffs.
Ex yeah, Zapcan
It's
Probopass,
gotta
man.
be. It's gotta be like
Okay,
what do you call
I
it?
got it. Breloom, Zapcan, and Probopass, and then the third Pokemon, it could be anything that learns liquidation. Your choice.
And this is open great.
Open greatly for a full day sets. You have to stream it. 25 battles. But whoever loses, right? Whoever doesn't get, dude, I'm still on like rank 7. You're way ahead of me.
Yeah,
It's pretty good, right? It's a mini bet. There's no
it
like
seems fun.
public embarrassment. Yeah, could be
I've
fun.
heard a lot of good things about Glycipod.
Hopefully they're great things because you need to carry this Pro Pass and the Breloom. Like, can it 1v7? Because you might need it.
The thing is, I think it beats Medicham, right? So that's like when you look at
Okay,
Breloom and Probo,
true.
you need a Medicham answer if you're
Okay.
playing
So
Open Great.
ABB, right? But what do you say swapping a Breloom or a Pro Pass? They both look awful.
No, I think because you have Bug and Grass fighting in the back, I think you lead the Probo. You safe switch the
What if they
Breloom to
come in
pull out the
Medicham
Flyer.
though? What do they have
Then you
Medicham
then
lead?
you have to stay. You have to stay and zap
Purple
cannon.
Pass double weak. You're not getting the Zapkin. They need to be lagging. They need to be lagging so hard that like they can't get in their phone for 3 minutes straight.
How many sparks does zap cannon? I'm gonna look it up.
I don't know. Dude, it's a lot of thunder shocks to Zap Cannon. So, dude, I don't think you get to the Zap Cannon without getting counted out, even if you had lock on as a fast move with the Pro Pass.
Okay, so you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sparks for a zap cannon. God.
Dude, sim it against Medicham. See how many sparks you get before you get counted down.
In the so in the zeros, you take a psychic and
Well,
you get KO'd. You get to
okay.
the zap cannon in the zeros,
Oh, you
but
do.
the next two counters KO you, and Medicham wins with 52 HP out of
What if
142.
they just go for a counter down?
Good
You have the
question.
Zap
Let's
Cannon
check.
though. That's actually pretty good. I didn't think you would make it. Hey, maybe
Mhm,
there's something
mhm.
to this. Spark Probo.
If you go Spark Probo, if you go all the way and they just try to counter you down, then they win with 48 HP and 98 energy.
Hey,
Dude, that would
man.
be devastating.
Nah, you're good. Just bring in
Can
a
Gallistopod?
just bring in a you know what you should bring in? Just bring in a slow bro afterward. You resist all that damage. Wait, the slower doesn't learn
Oh,
liquidation though.
but we can't play slow,
Yeah,
bro.
you
Come
can't play
on,
slow
that's the
bro.
bet.
You better hope that they're running Dynamic Punch, Ice Punch meta champ if you come into Glycipod right there.
Dude, it's pretty. If Medicham shields once, it is ugly. It is ugly, Caleb. If they shield a rock slide, they walk out with 117 out of 142 HP.
It's a good thing Metachamp is not meta at all, so you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, who plays Medicham?
Hey, more
Uh,
motivation to hit veteran first, you know? This is great too,
fair.
because whoever hits veteran first, the other person will be hella slowed down by this one day of sets, and you're
True.
going to struggle to hit legend sooner too. All right, think
We'll
about the
see.
handicap. I'm willing to give you
Dude,
2 week handicap for legend.
did we even talk about it on the last recording?
What? Bet to legend?
About our 11th hour legend push?
Oh, your yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think we did. You hit it.
Did we?
I think so. Oh wait, last week. Oh wait, no, we didn't because it didn't rotate yet. You didn't hit it yet.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. Well, you hit. Yeah. Well, spoiler alert. Speedy hit legend. Yo, you like to do
Yeah,
this alternating thing. You hit legend, you don't hit legend. This is not good, boding well for this upcoming season. But let's see if we can break the trend.
dude. Dude, I think this is the recording. Let's see.
It's
I
a
think.
recording. Hopefully, it's
Yeah,
not a
that's it.
screenshot.
Whoa, let's
Okay. All right.
go.
If you're watching the YouTube version, you see he claimed it. Got 30.
Let's
Wait, what is
go,
jumping you
baby
to
boy.
3059? Oh, you got a
3059.
lot of
I
elo.
think I went 5-0 to get it right
Yeah,
there.
and you got a Libre afterward, right?
Yeah, regular Libre, not shiny.
It just translates. You
Mariana's
could
Libre
match with
was
me. Yeah, hers was shiny, right?
hers is shiny, dude. I don't
Dude,
know how.
it's wild.
But yeah, did it after midnight on the very last day. The leagues were rotating, or excuse me, the seasons were rotating at 3 p.m. And after midnight, I got the 5-0. So
Wow,
pretty
pretty
close.
good, pretty
DJ
good.
Enterprise got his on his very last set.
Oh, I saw that he was streaming for his last set. He was trying. He was pushing for it. Yeah.
All right, this is not a T topic, but I'm gonna call him out. Right, I like DJ. I think DJ and I have a good
Oh
rapport.
no, paid
I've met him
actors.
before. No, no. The thing is, DJ, you got to believe in yourself, dude. I don't want to see you
Yeah.
calling the season 3 weeks before it's over and being like, it's not going to happen for me. I can't do it. And then you freaking do it. So stop doubting yourself, dude. You look like an ass when you do that because you're definitely capable of doing it. And it's just like, I don't know. You keep saying you can't do it, DJ, and then you keep doing it. It's honestly bugging me, man.
You gotta
You
channel
got to
your
just
inner hubris, man. You gotta channel your inner Caleb.
yes. You just
Yeah.
got to believe no matter
Yeah.
what. You're down 0-2 shields against a Shadow Charizard. Caleb says, I can win this.
Yeah, I sure can with Bastion. No problem.
There you
No
go.
problem. Exactly.
There you go.
I mean,
There
I
you
think
go.
there is something to that where it's you need. Oh, and I think DJ Enterprise is a great guy too. This is not a knock on him by any means, but for
Mhm.
those that win a regional or qualify for worlds or win worlds and stuff like that, you have to have confidence, right? You have to believe you can do it. You have to have a level of hubris and cockiness to a
Yes.
degree. You think Kimmy Sweet's going on there thinking that he's like, oh, I don't know if I could win. No, he's like, I'm
Right?
catching the Zap Cannon, right? I'm like glaring summons. I could easily been focused on. He just loses right there, right? He's like, no, I'm catching a Zap Cannon from a 1-turn lock on ready seal, right? Like, and he believes he can do it. Dude, I mean, some people have a little too much confidence, right? Like, sometimes Arrow's like, man, this team is too weak to bash that. No problem, I got this, right? but I
Yes.
mean, even Arrow, right? He needs the confidence to qualify for worlds as well. And like, I mean, we're just making fun of Arrow, but like you need to have the confidence, right? Like I remember when I used to scrim with Arrow back in 2019, 2020, I was like, dude, this guy thinks he could beat everyone, and I'm kind of scared, right? You got to be the guy running head first in war, right? To think you could do it,
Mhm.
right? That's what it takes, you know.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
but speaking of that, I think we could transition actually here to our T topic because I think it's a little relevant here too.
Let's do it.
And it is actually a tweet actually from Jakobovich.
Yes.
Jakobovich is our OCIC winner, and he he won Oceania International Championships, and I think he went 18-1 to win it all. The
Mhm.
highest win percentage out of anyone in the world for any tournament, actually historical, not including season 1, I believe. He only lost one battle, not one set, one battle the entire tournament, and it was like round 1, I think. He
Mhm.
literally went 2-0 and 3-0s after that. And he actually tweeted something out too. And I'm not super surprised. It's a little bummer to hear. I'm actually not super surprised because even when I tweeted out, I said, "Oh, this is the most impressive performance I've seen in a while, like ever seen," because just by win rate alone. And people were like responding, were like, "Oh, I don't know. I feel like Human Catcher Bug's more impressive. Like they
Oh
had more
yeah, yeah,
people,
yeah.
like skill ceiling, or like the skill level is higher, blah blah blah." Right. So like, there's already people already like kind of like knocking out Yakovovich, which I think is a little unfair because like, hey, how about you fly down to OCIC? If you think it's that easy, you fly down, you win that travel war, your flight's paid for itself, right?
Right?
You get the travel, you get the prize pool, it's all paid for itself. But anyway, Yakovovich tweeted out wanting advice and opinions of people who are well known within the PvP community. How do you deal with toxicity? After winning OCIC, I started receiving an uncomfortable amount of toxic messages from people I battle through GBL, often saying I'm trash and undeserving of my win in OCIC. And I simply got lucky, etc. Of course, I expected this initially and ignored them for the most part, but they've been continuing on consistently. It's beginning to reach the point where having my battles casually throughout the day, uh, sorry, the tweets are a little out of order, starts
It's okay.
making me anxious and unenjoyable. I don't know if others experience this, but I'm sympathetic towards you who do cope with these issues. I think you probably meant cope with these issues. People need to realize that although we may not have won big tournaments, at the end of the day, we are still human and play this game for fun. So please, if you do match up against someone who you recognize and you beat them, a simple GG's is all that is needed to be said after, which is like so disappointing to hear. Like, imagine like beating someone in GBL blind 3 format, right? Even if it's show 6, right? And be like, oh yeah, GG's like yeah, like, you don't deserve to be the champion. You don't deserve to go. It's like, what? Like, dude, get over yourself. Like again, like just like the toxic comments towards like women on the streams, like people like this
Mhm.
that are this toxic. It says way more about yourself that you feel the need to say this. It says way more about your own insecurities and maybe jealousy than anything else, right? And like it's like, and Yakovich is such like a humble guy too, right? And he was like super nice, and I remember I ran to him in the bathroom before grand finals. He's like, dude, it's like, I'm super nervous. I was like, it's okay. Like, like you're doing fine. Just keep doing you, right? Like you've been doing great. Like he
Yeah.
didn't go in there like, yeah, I'm gonna crush fish on the heater. I'm gonna crush like whoever he's gonna face. Like, I mean, and honestly, if someone felt like that, they're feeling themselves, whatever, right? But it's just like, you know, I would hate for this to like hurt your Kovacich's confidence
Yeah.
because he's a great battler. Just do you, right? Honestly, if like, I mean, this affects people in different ways, right? If it
Mhm.
was me, like I'm just like, I'll prove you wrong, worlds then, right?
Yep.
I actually
Yep.
wrote a comment to it. I just said respond to them with a picture of your first place trophy because that's what I do, right? maybe with maybe I throw in a middle finger out. Depends on how I'm feeling.
Right, right.
Depends on how toxic it is, but uh, I mean, I'm not suggesting that necessarily. But it's just like, dude, like just screw off, man. Like who cares? If I don't even care, dude. I remember someone. Honestly, it's even funnier. I don't even remember their name, but but they beat me in show 6 like once or twice. I think at least twice, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, like, so how about that Franco, right? This first time, right? He's like, hey, can we be friend? Can I get can I keep you on my friends list? I was like, sorry, I'm like out of space. And then he's like, and second time he beats me, he's like, "Oh, GG's." He's like, "How about now, right? Like, like how many times?" And then I was like, "Nah, sorry, I just only got space, right?" He's like, "How many times I got beat you to be on your friends list?" I was like, "Dude, honestly, if I had to add everyone that beat me, like, I would definitely be out of space. You got even
Yep.
longer waited." I was like, "Who cares? Who
Mhm.
cares if you beat me? Like, what does that matter, right? Like, don't make that about your self worth, right?
Yep.
Because." Honestly, it's ironic because I still don't remember who the heck this person is. So there's still a nobody in my mind. I'm sorry, right? I know it sounds mean, but like it's just like again, like if like I don't know. It's just
Dude, the thing is, man, the person that beats a regional or international champion and feels that desire to send them a toxic message afterwards, or the person that loses to them, I want every regional international champion to remember that to them, that was the battle of their week. That was the most
yes,
important thing that happened to him, that
rent
happened to
free.
them. That was it, right? That you were the most important thing in their life in that battle right there, right?
Mhm.
To you, it was just another Tuesday. All right?
Dude.
And
Just
that's what you need to
not even
remember.
just another Tuesday, just another few minutes of my Tuesday. I don't like
Just
sometimes
another
they say GG's and I'm like, GG's, man. I don't even know what you ran. Like
yeah,
you remember
yeah.
my name, I don't remember yours, and like that's just how it is, right? It's nothing personal, but like it's
Yeah. Our buddy, dude. I actually dealt with a pretty toxic comment months ago. Actually, maybe even like a year ago,
okay.
right? And our buddy Lyndon, I think I put this in Florida chat. I said, yeah, I lost to this person. They were talking, all this smack and saying all these things, and it's kind of bothering me, right? And Lyndon said, dude, think about it this way: they know who you are, and you don't have a effing idea who they are.
Nope.
And that's all you need to know.
I still don't remember the guy trying to add me on my friends list. I still don't.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. It's just a lack of respect, and it says more about the person than it does about you. You always need to remember that. Like if you get a crazy matchup against, like if you're just playing at your local court and like LeBron walks onto the court and you make like a three and he's like, "Yo, good shot." Then that should be a moment of respect. where the two of you are like, oh yeah, that's actually one of the cooler experiences. It shouldn't be like, yo, LeBron, you suck, Michael Jordan all day, baby. How could you let me make that three? You're ass. You're not the GOAT. Like that just says more about that person being
Yeah.
unsportsmanlike than anything else.
It honestly speaks a lot to that person's own insecurity because
Yes.
they feel the need to make themselves feel better because they beat you once or beat you twice or whatever how many times, right? Because they don't feel great about themselves. So like they haven't accomplished what you accomplished, right? I'm sure like maybe Dancing Rob even gets stuff like, oh, I just beat the world champ.
Oh,
You don't
dude,
think
I'm
Dancing Rob
not
ever
gonna.
lost? Are you the world champ? Will you ever be the world champ in your lifetime? Probably not, right?
Dude,
Probably not. Especially in Pokemon Go. This is not like some like strongman contest where like you could just show up one day and outlifts like a guy that's been lifting for years, right? This is Pokemon Go.
yeah,
Like you can RPS someone really hard. GBL even. Like that's the
yeah,
craziest part about this, right? People feel the audacity to reach out to Yakovic after beating him in GBL. Like it's a blind three format. It's so inconsequential that that's not even the format for the official circuit, right? That's
yep,
like saying, I beat the Shadow Mewtwo faster than your raid lobby did, right? Who cares? Who cares? Like, what's the flex, right?
yeah, yeah. It's just like I don't know. It's like, oh, I'm so good. I picked Trevenant Lantern Knockdown, and Yakovic picked Lantern Knockdown Trevenant, and I'm so good at the game. Like, come on.
Even if y'all played him, who cares? The blind thing. I was saying it earlier. I was GBLing. I was playing freaking Gardic Phone while drunk, right? Like if you GG me after, I probably didn't even read it, right? And if I did,
Yeah.
I probably didn't know what the heck was going on anyway. But
Yeah, yeah. I
it
don't know,
just
man. And just let's just step into Scroll Trapper's world for just 60 seconds here. Think about like a League of Legends champion, right? Think about how much flack they get online, or like a Dota
Mhm,
champion. Think about that.
mhm.
Or think about a winning soccer slash football team, right? That
Yeah.
wins like the World Cup. Think about how many people are just peanut gallery, just squawk boxing on Twitter, like, you're trash. You didn't get this because our best player was injured. Like
Yeah.
all this stuff. Like, everyone has an excuse.
Mhm.
Everyone has something they want to say. And honestly, it's unfortunate that you're dealing with it. But dude, the old adage is true. If you're doing something meaningful, people are gonna talk. People are gonna have something to say about it, right?
Yep.
If people aren't saying things, aren't taking shots at you, maybe you should go make some waves, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
that's just the way life is.
I don't know if Yakovic will hear this or not, but or if someone knows Yakovic can pass this along to him too, right? I mean, here's the
Yeah.
thing, Yakovic. Before OCIC, no one was probably messaging you this stuff, right? They're messaging
Yep.
you because you are significant in the community and you do have the skills, and they think it's impressive, right? I mean, I'm sure Yakovic was good at PP before, maybe skill level is similar to just a few months ago in February, right? But
Hmm.
it's because they know who you are, right? And you have meaning in this community. That's why they're doing it. So don't let them put you down, right? I know obviously like it's easier said than done to be like, yeah, shake off
Yeah.
the haters and stuff. And like me and you too, like we've been like creators and commentators and stuff. Like people have criticized us over stupid things all day long. I had like one guy that like he got Amon Targaryen like profile picture. It was like, oh, why are they getting Caleb to cast EYC? I was like,
I remember. I
I don't
remember.
know. I was like, if you don't like my casting, you don't like my casting. But like, and people were defending me. I was like, dude, it's fine. Like people are gonna be
Yeah.
haters. I was like, look, I hope you enjoy the stream, right? If you don't like me afterward, it's not a big deal. Not everyone's gonna like me. Not everyone's gonna like my commentary. Not everyone's gonna like my YouTube videos. Not everyone's gonna think I'm good at PP. It is what it is. I think
Yeah.
this is actually really good, like reminder for those that are like kind of backseat battling when they see these play Pokemon streams and they're like,
True.
why didn't you do this? Or you should have done this or blah blah blah. Right? Like it's okay to say like, yeah, maybe they should have done that. Or like, because I said that too when I was commentating. I was like, yeah, I was like, unfortunate Kimmy Sweet didn't get the Bison off, but he still played great. I mean, and I also acknowledge I was like, misplays will happen, even at the highest level. You don't think that but you just gotta think how few misplays he did leading up to that moment, how many games he had to play, how fatigued he is on stage, right? Thinking, trying to keep track of all this stuff. No one plays perfectly all the time, no matter how good you are. And I guarantee you, all these backseat battlers are not on stage themselves. And even if you've done it yourself, it doesn't mean you can do it in that moment in time too. I mean, some of the best people, like I think Wadash is one of the best players in North America.
Hmm.
It took him what 7, 8 regionals. You don't see me saying like, "Radash, it only took me 1 regional. What's up with that, huh? Like, why didn't you throw that sky attack against Charm alone 9 tails?" No, like that's just so like toxic, right? It's just like it'll happen. Like there's things going on in people's lives too. Like it's just like they might they might have like lost count or like something threw them off. They're having a bad morning. It could be 1,000 things, right? It's just
Yeah.
like just something to think about whenever you're making these kind of comments on Twitch streams and stuff too. Because these aren't like there's the toxic, like sexist, misogynistic,
Yeah.
like shallow
Which
comments,
is
but
a
then there's
whole
which is a whole
yeah,
different thing that I think
whole
most people
different
see.
category of evil. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's this kind of stuff that like these kind of comments still do affect people, right? And you have to understand that a lot of these battlers, when they battle, they're going to look back, right? You don't think I looked at the comments? Of course I looked at the comments, right? And I'm going to see people criticize my gameplay, and like for some people that hits harder than for others. I care
Yeah.
less, to be honest, at this point. You want to hate on me? Hey man, I welcome
Yeah.
Squirrel Trapper. I welcome you to comment 1,000 comments on every one of these videos, man. I'll probably skip 999 of them, but it's great for the algorithm, right?
Yeah, dude. Well, one more point I want to make, right? Who this should be like a super easy answer. Who's the most prolific 3-point shooter in the NBA right now?
I know this is a tough question because there's no way
No,
Steph
no,
Curry.
no. There's no
Oh,
like way around it, right? Just I think the public would agree. Steph Curry is like
oh, I thought you
one of
meant like there's like a
arguably.
specific percentage or something. Oh, okay,
No, no, no.
okay, okay.
I but
You just mean like general,
I mean
subjective.
just in general.
Yeah,
Like everyone thinks that Steph Curry is like right now currently the king of three point
yeah,
shooting, right?
yeah,
His percentage in the NBA this season was 42.6%. He was 7th in the NBA in
yeah.
three-point efficiency. And that's the thing, right? Like
Mhm.
he's shooting at 42% and it's hard to argue that he's not one of the best in the world. So when you go in there and you go 18-1 at OCIC, you're hitting all of those threes, baby. But look,
Mhm.
when you miss a couple shots, that's what people are going to think about,
Yeah.
right? And I sincerely hope that, like you said earlier, I hope that Jakobovic, I hope that Andrus, I hope that Palasha, I hope that anyone who's felt like their achievements and their accomplishments in the championship series have been downplayed. I hope that they hear this and that they actually reflect on it and they choose to build a thicker skin, because it would honestly be heartbreaking if we
Mhm.
don't see Palasha compete, if Andres feels like she can't come back and compete after Worlds, if Jakobovic doesn't perform well and feels mentally like he can't compete anymore.
Yeah.
It would be a tragedy to see those young incredible players not compete because of a few people that just run their mouths.
100% agree. And honestly, for all those three trainers or anyone going to Worlds, you go to Worlds. Like I said, like I was joking around, or like, man, I feel awful about myself, dude. You like it might all of us want to win Worlds if we qualify and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like that is a huge accomplishment. You know how many people have tried and gone to so many regionals and still have not qualified, right? And like it's not. I'm not making fun of those people. It's a hard thing to do. Getting your ticket to Japan is a huge accomplishment in itself.
Yep.
Obviously, we all want to do well there, and like it's okay to like feel sad about it if you don't do well, right? If anyone doesn't do well, but at the end of the day, like you said, like hopefully, like regardless of the results of if you go to Japan and you compete and stuff, like you should be very
Yeah.
proud of what you did. And again, like
Yeah.
18-1, I don't care I don't care who you are, where you're in the world, right? You go to OCIC and you try to go 19-0, right? You try to go 18-0, right? You try not to take a single game loss. That is hard to do, right? I don't care like how good you
Mhm.
are. You can talk about the skill level. I don't care if you're playing a bunch of 5-year-olds, right? A 5-year-old could bring a Shadow Grandpa into your Altaria and you're screwed, right? Like it doesn't matter what the situation is. So like obviously, we don't have to get. I mean, I know we did a segment with Butters, like, oh, who do you think is the best? But like, that's just like banter our own power rankings. But at the end of the day, like,
Yeah.
it's like what Yakovic accomplished, what people like Paul Lasha, Human Catch Bug, Rise accomplished. Those are not easy, right? 90%
Mhm.
plus win rates, dude. I can only dream of that, man. Like, I didn't have a 90% win rate probably on day one. Like, I was, dude, I barely broke even against Ramberto. I actually was under. I was like 45% against him alone,
Yeah.
right?
And it's just ironic. You put the peanut gallery, right? You pull them out of the stands, you put them on the court, and you ask them to do what Palash has done, do what Jakobovic and Human Ketchbuk have done. They can't do it.
No, you
Be
can't do it.
real. They can't do it.
You
They're
can't do
they're
it.
loud in the stands. When you put them on the court, dude, they can't make a
Yeah.
single shot.
And I think all
Yeah.
these players too, they know what it takes. And also part of it is like, yeah, there's a little luck involved in it too. They know that all these people saying this stuff can't do it either, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you could do it, hey, let us know. If you think you can do it and you're one of those critics of these people, you drop a comment down below. You write your username and you go to the next tournament. I'll see you in Fresno. I'll see you at NEIC. Do what they did. All right. Don't
Yep.
say it after the fact. Do it beforehand and make your call. And hey, if you make it, congrats. But trust me, 90% win rate. 95% win rate. Dude, good luck. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Anyway, that was some hot tea, baby.
For sure, for sure.
I'm back. It's good to be back though from Milwaukee, and we'll be meeting up in California.
Dude, the
Let's
grind
go.
don't stop. See you in CA.
The grind don't stop. The regional grind, but most importantly, the Pampor XL grind.
Oh my god,
Go
dude,
for it.
no.
You think
Monkey
I have
King Caleb.
you have 3 level Mega 3 Gyarados for a coincidence? Nah, dude. I'm about to get all those water XLs. Kyogre too, man. We're doing
Oh
it
my
all.
god.
Slow,
I,
bro.
I'm gonna call animal control on you, dude. You're the Monkey King.
Yeah, they can make a documentary about me. They
Oh
had the
god.
Tiger King ready. They don't have the Monkey King. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. But anyway, always a great time chatting with you and our listeners listening in and stuff and reading your comments. We will. I don't know if when the hops is coming, guys. I can't say. We're working with the politicians' timeline these days. You know what they say, right? They're like, oh, we're going when they go in office. Oh, before they go office, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, right? And here they are, no camera, no Bastion stream, no hot chip. Hey, I will
Hey, we'll sort it out.
think. We agreed though with the veteran bet though. We like that.
Sure. Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it. The
So
Breloom Probo Pass liquidation, that's pretty fun.
yeah, it's
And
it's
it's only a day.
yeah, yeah. What's 0-25, right? What's 0-25?
Dude, it wouldn't be that bad. It'd be like 5-20.
Yeah, because by the end of it, the last 5 you're
But so
facing
much
are
worse.
like in the 300 elo range. Like they're like almost bots at that point. Like they're running
Tanking
like
stream.
Weedles. Yeah, they're using like 1000 CP to like like
Dude,
pound weekly tough.
imagine getting to veteran and be like and announcing a tanking stream.
No, because the loser wouldn't even beat the veteran. You're still like you're
Oh,
barely
that's
at ace
right.
at best. Yeah, like I said, it's just like it's like the rich get richer kind of philosophy. Like the next, they're going to just keep going towards legend while you're like struggling behind, right? We'll think
Fair,
about
fair.
something for the legend bet. You think on the handicap if you want it or not. But
Oh my god.
I
Okay.
will throw this into consideration. You could pass on
Sure.
it as if you want or not. I will still be down to fully perm my hair if I lose because I didn't lose this time,
All
right?
right.
So it's pretty bad,
Sure.
right? I I
All right.
I don't think you'll want to do another hot chip after this one, but we'll
No,
see.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous for you, not gonna lie.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, thanks all for tuning in. Great time as always. Episode 102. And oh, I forgot too. For those that are tuning in, there's probably a new intro and outro to this podcast. I haven't
Hey.
edited yet, but that's my plan because getting my car service tomorrow. I'll be stuck at the dealership for a while. But so I got some ideas for that. If you like the intro and the outro, the new one, let me know. If you hate it, too freaking bad, man. I spent too much time on this.
We ain't changing it.
Yeah. If you hate it and your name is Scroll Trapper, then you know I did it right. I done
There
right
it
for
is.
sure. But anyway, thanks all for tuning in, and we will catch you all later. And if you're going to be at Fresno, we'll see you there. Bring basket counters, baby.